Good evening, everyone, from Lions Field in Sumrall, Mississippi. It's time for District 7 4A high school football action as the Sumrall Bobcats entertain the Purvis Tornadoes. This is what's known as the Battle of 589. I'm Kelly Sander along with color analyst, the round mound of sound, Brad Bounds. And Brad, you've got two teams. The one team trying to rediscover itself. You've got another team that has all of the sudden found itself. The Purvis Tornadoes coming in here winners of 4 in a row. And Sumrall comes in here tonight with their starting quarterback, John Ford, who was injured earlier in the year. Back at the helm tonight, both teams relatively healthy, ready to go. The Battle of 589 just moments away.
Yeah, Kelly, you mentioned it, John Ford back on the field tonight for Sumrall. Young man put up 400 yards passing in the 2 games that he did play, and ran the ball also for 118 yards. So a big piece of the puzzle that Sumrall's been missing. You just don't know how much this layoff is going to hurt him, and if he is, of course, I would say the coaches, Coach White and everything, believing he's 100% or he wouldn't be back out there.
And Purvis is a team that has, after losing its first 3 games, and a lot of people thought it was going to be rough sledding for the Tornadoes, they have won 4 in a row, including a double overtime thriller district opener last week against Stone County, but they come in here with 1 less day practice as this game moved from Friday to Thursday.
Yeah, and that could have an effect. You know, Coach Hankins obviously agreed to play the game tonight, and so he must feel that his players are ready, but we'll see if that has any kind of effect on them at all. But you know that each team is going to be up for this game in this inter-county rivalry.
But talking with Brad Hankins before the game with the media, Brad, he said one big concern is that 6'3" quarterback that Sumrall's got, because he said if Ford is on his game, it could be a long night for the Tornadoes, because earlier in the season, and they continue to struggle in pass coverage.
Yeah, Kelly, and if in fact Ford picks up right where he left off, look for Tyler Daniels to pick up where he left off. You know, Daniels had 200 yards receiving in those 2 games, so 100 yards per game before Ford went out. Then he was forced to play some quarterback, running back, that sort of thing. He's going to be back out at his natural position tonight at wide receiver. So if, in fact, Sumrall has success through the air, look for Tyler Daniels to have a big game.
The Tornadoes won the toss and have deferred the choice to the second half. So with that, Sumrall has decided to receive the football here tonight at Lions Field. Glad that some of you are with us on the YouTube channel at Sumrall Athletics, others on the radio on the Legend 105.9. And tonight, being Thursday night, the only game in town. Glad that you're with us. Don't forget to check in on our Sumrall roll call at 601-310-7077. That is our text number, 601-310-7077. Let us know where you are listening or watching the game from tonight. The Battle of 589, the Tornadoes looking to make it 5 in a row. Sumrall looking for its first District 7 4A contest. Sumrall being beaten by Greene County last week. So getting ready to go here. Again, the Tornadoes to kick it away. Hunter Robinson, the quarterback, will actually kick it. It's taken by the up man at the 30-yard line, out across the 35 up to about the 39-yard line on the return for the Bobcats, and that is where they will start 1st and 10. On the return for Sumrall was the Italian stallion TJ Varnado. So John Ford back at quarterback now, where he hasn't been since week 2, and he's got the quack attack. Carson Duck in the backfield here. Sumrall in their white helmets with powder blue jerseys and powder blue pants. Sumrall in their gold helmets, white shirts, and white pants. Sumrall working left to right or toward the baseball field from the far hash mark here at Sumrall. Ford looking to the sideline. The Bobcats also adorned in their breast cancer awareness pink socks here, which definitely clash with the outfit, but bring attention to that cause. 1st and 10, Ford wants to throw. Does out into the right, flat. It is caught out up to about the 45-yard line. Making that connection is Kate Dito, who's also back in the lineup tonight. Dito was the backup quarterback, but he's now 100%. 1 for 1 on the pass, on 5 yards on the hook up there, Brad.
Yeah, and that's what they wanted to do. And Kelly, if you noticed on that pass, Jesse Johnson, the defender for Purvis, was giving the receiver about a 15-yard cushion. So they're not trying to challenge him at the line thus far.
Jesse Johnson, a baseball player who is in that secondary for Purvis. You're going to hear a lot about his baseball career in the future. Just a great athlete overall. 2nd down and 4 after the pickup of 6, this time from the near hash mark. Ford calls for the football and hands it off straight up the middle to the quack attack across the 50 down to the 48-yard line into Purvis territory. It is 1st and 10. That'll move the chains along the far sideline. Pickup of 6 there for Carson Duck on his first carry. And the Bobcat, the junior linebacker, gets down to about the 39-yard line. So a pickup of 9 on that play. Just underway. First series of the night for either team. Sumrall on the move. Johnson with Duck still in the backfield. The receivers to the near side are Dito and Hayden Tweeter Barrett. Daniels and Cocroft out wide left. And these are the weapons in the positions that Shannon White wanted them to be in. But for injuries, you have to make amends sometimes. Across the middle, Ford overthrows his intended receiver. Hayden Barrett was actually a low pass, but out in front of him too far. Incomplete will bring up a 3rd down and short now for the Rollcats.
Kelly, it's good to see Sumrall throwing the football. They just haven't been able to with the injuries and stuff that they've been battling. And with Ford being back, you got your starter back. You see him already in this drive putting the ball in the air 3 times versus just once on the ground.
And you would expect, Brad, that with Ford being out of the lineup that Purvis would blitz a lot, but Shannon White and his staff said we do not expect Purvis to blitz. They never have blitzed. They just kind of sit back and take what you bring at them, but they won't try to force any pressure and have not so far tonight. 3rd down and a yard. 10 minutes, 24 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Glad that you're with us here tonight from Lions Field in Sumrall. Cole Daniels set up in that heavy package to the far side, and Duck follows him over that direction and plunges forward across the 40 down to about the 38, just enough for the 1st down. That's enough to move the chains, and Sumrall keeps possession of the football. Daniels checks out, and Barrett comes in.
Duck didn't get much, only a yard, but a yard's all he needed.
So back to work again for Sumrall. 1st and 10 at the Purvis 38-yard line. From the far hash mark, working left to right. A big district game here for both of these teams. From the 985, ready for some Bobcat football tonight. Christy Martin checking in down from Louisiana. Wide open is Hayden Barrett across the middle. He's in the end zone for a Bobcat touchdown. He was wide open. Somebody blew a coverage somewhere for Purvis because Barrett, there wasn't anybody 15 yards around him, Brad Bounds.
Well, what they did, Kelly, was a little play action. They faked the handoff to Duck. And the linebacker who was responsible for Barrett bid on the run, and Barrett just ran behind him. Ford hit him perfectly in stride for a touchdown.
So the first series of the game with a Ford-led team, Sumrall marches down the field and puts up a touchdown. Marshall Phillips on the hold for Bryson Smith's extra point attempt. The kick is up, and the kick is good. 9 minutes, 33 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. What an opening drive for Sumrall.
Well, just Sumrall, you know they're going to be hyped because this is a rivalry game, number one. Number two, they get their quarterback back. They haven't had since week 2. And these kids just came out here and drove it right down the field. It's just amazing. Like you said, Kelly, it looks like a completely different team. They have playing with a confidence about them, a little bit of swagger out there, and it's amazing what Ford can bring to this team. And we saw it right there in the first drive.
Well, the Bobcats know it's important to get off to a quick start, and so too your friends at Dandy Dan Chevron in Bellevue. Whether it's their complete line of fresh, always hot coffees to Miss Betty's sausage and egg biscuits, Dandy Dan's in Bellevue has your quick start covered. For lunch, check out the daily special plate lunches at Dandy Dan's Chevron in Bellevue. The smiles are always warm and the drinks ice cold. Proud supporters of Sumrall football, Dandy Dan's in Bellevue on Highway 589. Shannon White and his team, even though the Bobcats are wearing pink socks, they have got to be tickled pink with the way the offense marched down the field. And it will give that defense a chance to rest a little bit too. Smith takes a pooch kick approach down to about the 35-yard line. It is fielded there by Baden.
And it looked like the receiver threw his hand up in the air. It's not signal fair catch, and the Sumrall coaching staff is trying to say that as well, but the officials didn't see it. So he brought it forward only for a gain of about 4.
So 1st and 10 for Purvis. They'll spot it at the 41-yard line, working right to left. Sumrall leading 7.
Kelly, this Purvis team came in on the night averaging 226 yards on the ground, only 86 through the air. And if they're going to rely on the running game to try to beat this Sumrall defense, it could be a long night for Purvis.
The Bobcats lead it on the touchdown pass. Pitch sweep to the left side, trying to cut it back in the middle. Is Baden again. He's wide open into the secondary. Look out. Baden is loose, cutting to the far side of the field toward the end zone. He's in. That is a tornado touchdown.
Well, I told you they weren't going to be able to run the ball. I tell you, that was a good move by Baden there. He took the pitch, and instead of going to the outside, he saw a lane in the middle of the field, and he hit it quick, and he was gone for a 62-yard strike.
So just like that, after the Ford touchdown pass to Hunter Barrett, Baden with a 59-yard touchdown run there. And the Tornadoes setting up for what would appear to be going for 2. That swinging gate lineup to the left of the football. Now faking the handoff and running it himself, but going nowhere, is Hunter Robinson. He is dropped again by Justice Hanbury. The two-point conversion is no good with 7:51 left to go. In the first quarter, it's Sumrall 7, Purvis 6. Glad that you're with us here on this Thursday night. This game, of course, originally scheduled for tomorrow, but some impending weather might come through the area. But as it turns out, this is really good timing for both of these area schools, because for the Lamar County schools, the end of the 9 weeks was today. So what that means is they won't have school. The players won't have school tomorrow or Monday. So I said, let's get this game in the books, maybe take a day or 2 off, and then get back to preparing for 7-4A action next week, when the Bobcats will be home for the next 2 weeks in a row. Next week against that ball was hit. It was an onside kick attempt. They tried a liner, and it hit one of the Bobcats who were the up man. It bounced off of him, and the Bobcats, Jesse Johnson, check that, the Tornadoes, Jesse Johnson recovers. Totally unexpected there.
Yeah, Robinson just kicked it on a line as hard as he could. Like you said, Kelly, it made contact with one of the up men from Sumrall. So big break there for Purvis.
And the Tornadoes have the football now. So the fall break. The teams will get that break and not report back to school until next Tuesday. 7-6. Purvis leads it. You think that was designed, Brad, or do you think it just happened that way?
I think that, that he kicked it, and if it made contact, good. If he didn't, it was still going to be hard to handle down the field, just a line drive.
So the Tornadoes leading this one 7-6. They put Baden in motion, but they give it to the up back. And making the run there is Caden Wines, the junior fullback. And Cole Daniels in the mix there, and whistles blowing everywhere, and already tempers are flaring here, Brad.
Yeah, Daniels did a good job. He just threw his hands up in the air and said, look, I'm not doing a thing.
But the officials know the emotion in this game and what's on the line for both of these teams. No gain on the play, brings up a 2nd down and 10. In case you missed it, Sumrall took the opening kickoff. The Tornadoes won the toss and deferred the choice to the second half, so they kicked off. And with John Ford at quarterback for Sumrall, marched this Bobcat team down the field. And a long touchdown pass to Hayden Barrett. With Bryson Smith's extra point made it 7-0. And then the 59-yard run by Baden. The 2-point conversion is no good, and that's where we stand. Sumrall 7, Purvis 6. Robinson in trouble. Flushed from the pocket, runs up the middle, and he does get forward for a gain of about 4. Cole Daniels on the tackle there for Sumrall. Brings up a 3rd down and 6 upcoming. College football this weekend. Southern Miss homecoming festivities on campus in Hattiesburg against the North Texas Mean Green. Mississippi State and Ole Miss both in action. Mississippi State Actually, they're both on the road. Ole Miss is at Missouri. Mississippi State at Tennessee. 3rd down, 7 after that spot is placed. And now Robinson calls a timeout. And the Tornadoes will talk this over. The Bobcats will come to the near sideline. We talked about this being game 1 of a 3-game homestand. The Forest County Aggies come to town next week, and that will be a homecoming here on the Sumrall campus. And then Stone, the new kids on the block, come to town, and the Bobcats end the season at Poplarville. Of course, Poplarville still the team projected to win it all, but I'll tell you, Greene County's going to have a say in it. I thought Greene County looked sensational last week. And the Bobcats will be the first ones to tell you they did not. But still, all that aside, with the two-headed running attack that Greene County has, the Wildcats, I think, will be heard of. So 3rd down and about 7 now after the timeout. The Tornadoes working right to left. They have it 3rd down and 7 at the Sumrall 46-yard line. Trailing in this game, 7-6. Baden is in the backfield. Under center is Robinson. They pitch it to Baden to the right side, trying to find some blockers. Does, and gets ahead. Enough for the 1st down to about the 36 or 7-yard line.
And again, after the play, Kelly, a little extracurricular activities there. The officials not throwing a flag at this point.
But, you know, Purvis has always been a school, Brad, that very similar to Iowa at the college level. Purvis cranks out offensive linemen. They have had great offensive linemen all throughout the years, going back to the Jack Kraft and Jim Sizemore days when they were the coaches at Purvis. Seems like an eternity ago. But the Tornadoes have always had big, strong, smart offensive linemen, and they led the way there, garnering the 1st down for the Tornadoes.
Kelly, looks like they did throw a flag. You're going to get a dead ball personal foul against Purvis.
But that 1st down will stay on the books, yes?
Yes. Well, actually, no, they're bringing it back now, and they're putting it back to 3rd down. I would think, I think that's what Coach Brad Hankins is asking. He got the 1st down, and if it's a dead ball,
it should be after the play.
Right. The penalty would be enforced, but it would be 1st down from wherever this spot is at. But
so like 1st and 25 rather than a.
But that's not how they enforce. Yes, they did now. Okay, I thought they still had the 3 on the down marker over there, so they did change it. It's 1st and 10, but it cost them 15, negated that gain that they had.
So the line of scrimmage now, Purvis is back in its own end of the field at the 48-yard line, trailing Sumrall 7-6. J-Mo is watching from Monahans, Texas. He is a big fan of the Quack Attack. He's got a 318 area code. Monahans over there west of Midland, Odessa. Pitch, left side, cutting it back up the middle, and running into the Bobcat defense is Ty Harrell. Harrell got forward for about 4 on the play. Or was that Lappin for, it was Lappin for Purvis. So 2nd down, still 6 with 5 minutes, 20 seconds left to go here in the 1st quarter. And I wonder now that we're in October, but it's still warm outside, if we'll get the water timeouts. Last Friday, they certainly needed it at Greene County. It was warm. Split backs. Robinson under center. Rolls to his right, wants to throw. Ball is tipped, but it is caught. Looks like making the catch there is Jesse Johnson, but he might have been about a yard short. Digger Freeman and Marshall Phillips on the tackle for Sumrall. Brings up a 3rd down and 1. Clock continuing to move with 4:40 left to go here in the 1st quarter. Kelly Sander with the round mound of sound. Brad Bounds with you high atop Lions Field here in Sumrall. The only game of the night here in District 7 4A. The only game really here in South Mississippi. 3rd down and a yard. Robinson hands it off to the first man through. It looks like he got enough. but not much more, over right tackle. Caden Wines, the fullback, it looks like was the ball carrier there. And it is enough for a Purvis first down. One thing I've noticed already, Brad, too, part of Purvis's offensive modus operandi is to keep Sumrall's offense, with John Ford leading the way, off the field.
Yeah, Purvis is going to run the football 9 times out of 10, and they're rotating backs in there to do it. Baden or Baden, however you say it, he's going to be the main back. But, yeah, if they can keep fresh legs in and keep Sumrall's offense off the field, that's what they're going to try to do.
Robinson takes the snap, rolls across the middle. He's got Johnson all alone at the 5-yard line. He takes it in for a Purvis touchdown.
And that's opposite of what we just described, Kelly. But there again, that's what a running game can do.
Opens up the passing.
Right, you show them run, and that time Robinson didn't hand it off and rolled out to his left and was able to find Jesse Johnson, their big receiver, streaking down the field.
So the turnover winds up being converted into 6 points. And Purvis has taken the lead for the first time tonight. We'll see if they try to go for 2 again to recoup that point that they missed on the first touchdown. The New York Giants and New England Patriots getting ready to tee it up in the first NFL game of the week. Of course, people ready to crown New England as the AFC champion already, and not, as Lee Corso would say, not so fast, because they still have 2 games with the Jets, 1 with the Dolphins and 1 with the Bengals. So the Patriots schedule gets even easier, if that's hard to believe. I don't know who made the schedule for the New England Patriots, but the easiest teams in the NFL, and they all fall right in their lap.
Well, you got to play who's in your division. That's the Jets and the Dolphins.
Well, that's true.
The Bengals, yeah, that's just horrible.
What a gift. So they do line up for 2 here. It's a direct snap to Robinson, and he is able to follow blockers over left tackle into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. Christy Martin has checked in from Folsom, Louisiana, watching now on television, not just a tablet anymore. Boy, moving up in the world. So it is now 14-7 in favor of the Purvis Tornadoes. This broadcast made possible in part by sponsorship from MCS Building Materials in Sumrall, proud to support Sumrall Bobcat football. Hattiesburg Children's Clinic is committed to the care and well-being of your child from birth to adolescence. Children's Clinic is open daily and offers immunizations, monitors your child's growth and development, and treats a wide range of childhood illnesses. Call 601-261-3500 to schedule your appointment, or you can visit them at www.hattiesburgclinic.com. Dr. April Gilmore with the Children's Clinic, a proud supporter of the Sumrall Bobcats, and she is indeed a Sumrall graduate. So Robinson, who again serves as the kicker, they try the same thing. This time it finds a seam and will actually be fielded at the 25-yard line. And taking it there for Sumrall is James Ford. Ford, the linebacker, brings it up to about the 44-yard line. So his twin brother John now will come out at quarterback for Sumrall to try to lead this team down the field, trailing the Tornadoes now 14-7. And there was actually a face mask toward the end of the play. Sumrall will get some more yardage here as the Tornadoes grab the face cage. So the Tornadoes will start 1st and 10 beyond the 50-yard line after they march this personal foul off. So a short field here for Sumrall. We've heard from Monahans, Texas. We've heard from Christy Martin in Folsom, Louisiana. Where are the rest of you tonight on this special Thursday night edition of Sumrall Bobcat Football? 601-310-7077. Coming up in the second quarter, our Davis Smith State Farm Insurance Agency trivia question. Dealing with really talented quarterbacks in the NFL. That's coming up in the second quarter. 1st and 10, the line of scrimmage is the 43-yard line of Purvis. Again, the Bobcats working left to right with their white helmets, powder blue jerseys, and powder blue pants. They all have those breast cancer awareness pink socks during the month of October. Ford wants to throw, does a little swing pass to Cockcroft, but he can't hang on to it. It's incomplete. And I think Cockcroft saw the pressure coming, Brad, just took his eyes off it a split second.
Yeah, tried to run with it before he secured the football. But I liked it. I like what they did there, trying to get the ball out in space in Cockcroft's hand. Cockcroft came into the night the leading rusher on this team, but he's already lined up at wide receiver now in this series. Looks like he is lining up in the backfield.
And Lawson Graves had pulled from his left end position to try to come out there and be a lead block for him. But Cockcroft just couldn't hang on. 2nd down and 10. The incompletion stops the clock with 3:05 left to go. Ford has time. Now flush from the pocket, runs straight up the gut, and slides down to the 38-yard line. Does the second base slide. Talking to his dad tonight before the game, he said, man, I'm just going to be holding my breath the entire game. So Ford, after the collarbone injury, back in the lineup tonight. That was a gain of 5. So 3rd down and 5, and the Cats working quickly here. Big 3rd down and 5 with the clock moving. 2:35 left to go here in the first quarter at Lions Field in Sumrall. Purvis leads Sumrall 14-7 in this big District 7 4A tilt. Cockcroft to the left of Ford. Ford hands it off to Cockcroft over right tackle. He gets inside the 35 to about the 33-yard line, where he was tackled there by Mitchell Hall, the outstanding linebacker there, with another tackle tonight for Purvis. And this will be very close to a first down. They might have to measure this one.
Yeah, he needed, excuse me, Kelly, needed 5 yards. And he may have got it on the nose, but they're going to bring the chains out and measure it to see. And looks to me like that he did pick it up. He may have barely picked it up, but.
And not to put the cart ahead of the horse here, but with the line of scrimmage being around the 33-yard line there, it's too long for a legitimate field goal attempt at the high school level.
And too short for a punt.
Yeah, so you'd think that Sumrall would go for it either way.
Well, before they even brought the chains out, Cole Daniels was running out on the field, but he's not going to have to, as the nose of that football is across the chain.
It is a first down for the Bobcats at the Tornado 33-yard line. 2 minutes, 9 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. Justice Hanbury checks out. Sean Sanderson in the ball game there. Right side of that Sumrall line. Cade Dito and Hunter Barrett here to the near side. As wide receivers, Barrett has a touchdown reception tonight. He has the only touchdown points for Sumrall. 1st and 10. Ford with Cockcroft to his right. Asks for the football, gets a perfect snap, throws, and it's a one-handed grab by Barrett, and he is escorted out of bounds at the 23. What a nice play by Tweeter there, who reached out with one hand and was able to keep it on his fingertips and pull it in before getting out of bounds.
Well, I couldn't tell there for a second. Was that Barrett or was that Odell Beckham Jr.?
I was going to say, what a play. He's just such a gifted athlete, Barrett, and we mentioned not very tall, but thick and strong and fearless, and that's what you need. Those 3 attributes will certainly make you tough in any sport. Cockcroft now split to the right. The line of scrimmage is the 23-yard line of Purvis. Ford wants to throw across the middle, overthrew his intended receiver at about the 10-yard line. It's incomplete. He was looking for Cade Dito, who did the old down and in from street ball. So 2nd down and 10 with 1:34 left to go here in the first quarter. Cockcroft checks out of the ball game now. The quack attack. Carson Duck is split to the right of John Ford. Boy, the Bobcat Nation has been waiting for John, who's just a sophomore, to get back into the lineup and march to the team right down the field in the first series of the night for pay dirt. Hand off to Duck right up the middle. Duck splits a couple of blocks and gets inside the 20 to the 18 before he is tripped up on the play. Mitchell Hall, again, the linebacker with the tackle. And that's a pickup of 6, brings up a 3rd down and 4. And here comes big Cole Daniels into the ball game. And Digger Freeman checking out. Cruz Freeman. 1:11 left to go. Clock moving here. Daniels with the beef to the right side of the Sumrall line. They put Barrett in motion and hand it off to Duck, who tries the left side. And Duck, following a block, gets inside the 10 to about the 7-yard line, and that's a Bobcat first down.
But Kelly, really good play there. Everybody on the defensive side of the ball, excuse me, just knew that they were going to run behind Cole Daniels. And they didn't. They went to the other side. It was a big hole there. Good job by Duck.
First and goal at the 7-yard line. Duck still in the backfield. I got to talk to Carson Duck before the ball game, and I said, man, don't panic, but a few of your hairs are out of place. And he started to panic. First and goal. Ford gets an eye-high snap, throws out to the left, and Tyler Daniels cannot make that grab. A couple of drops by Daniels and Cocroft on passes that should have been caught.
Yeah, they were just trying to get that out wide to Daniels, who had man-on-man coverage out there, trying to get him to use his athleticism to beat the defender, but never got the chance as he dropped the pass.
Second down and goal, eye high, throws to the corner of the end zone, and it is over the head of the intended receiver, Tyler Daniels, and he really had to throw it that high because a couple of Purvis defenders were in the area, and had he thrown it lower to where Daniels could have caught it, it may have been picked.
Yeah, I think Ford saw those defenders and just thought, you know, if Daniels can go up and get it, great, but if not, I'll just take the incompletion.
Certainly an incompletion, not to overstate the obvious, much better than an interception. So third down and goal with 26 seconds left to go. Ford, bad snap, and he has to fall on top of the ball back at the 16-yard line. So the Bobcats lucky just to retain possession there. Ford made the recovery on his own. But now you would think that you're in field goal range here with 9 seconds left to go in the first quarter. And Sumrall won't even snap it, most likely, as we go to the end of the first quarter. We've got one in the books here at Lions Field in Sumrall. It's the Purvis Tornadoes 14. The Sumrall Bobcats 7. In Sumrall, you know how much it means to have neighbors you can count on, like the one who mowed your lawn and trimmed in that week that you were sick or on vacation. Well, here's another good neighbor that you can count on, State Farm agent Davis Smith. Davis Smith and his team are here to help life go right. When you combine your home and auto insurance, and that can save you money and time. So combine your home and auto and start the savings rolling. Call State Farm agent Davis Smith at 601-602-8585. That's 601-602-8585. State Farm insurance agent Davis Smith. Our trivia question tonight, who's the only athlete, and that's obviously exclusive, the only athlete to ever be drafted in the first round of both the Major League Baseball draft and the NFL football draft. The only athlete to ever be drafted in the first round of the MLB draft and the NFL draft. That is our State Farm trivia question tonight.
You
got that one?
Well, I got two guesses.
Oh, well, hang on, because Bryson Smith ready to try a field goal here. They're going to place it at the 22-yard line, right between the hash marks. Marshall Phillips will hold it. The placement is down. The kick has plenty of leg, and this kick is good. Bryson Smith converts from 32 yards. And the Bobcats pull within 14-10. Purvis 14. Sumrall 10 with 11:54 left to go here in the second quarter. Good for Bryson Smith. He's just a sophomore. Man, when you look at the sophomore cupboards here at Sumrall and younger, the 8th grade team at Sumrall is undefeated. So plenty of talent here in the cupboards for Sumrall. Good news for future talent here in Lamar County. So again, our Davis Smith State Farm Insurance trivia question, who's the only athlete to be drafted in the first round of both the NFL draft and the Major League Baseball draft? You said you've got two guesses.
Well, I do, and then the first one is not it. I know it's not, but a lot of people may say because he ended up playing both sports with Deion Sanders.
Or Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson, correct. But I do not think that would be a guess, but that's not a real guess. I'm going to have to say John Elway.
John Elway's not right either.
Wow.
We'll tell you here in just a second. That end-over-end kick is fielded at the 25-yard line. Baden himself from the near side gets shoved out of bounds at about the 40. Both teams have had good field position tonight on punt returns and kickoff returns. Making the tackle there is Daniel Nelson for Sumrall. And the football will be spotted at about the 41-yard line. Purvis has it working left to right at the 41-yard line, leading in this game 14-10. No other guesses?
It's got to be John Elway.
Again, good guess. But it's actually a guy right under our nose today. So we'll give you another minute or so to think about that. The only player ever, and my guess was Bo Jackson. But the first round is the key.
Wasn't Elway
Drafted
baseball
in the
standout?
first round, but he wasn't drafted in the first round.
Okay.
Has to be drafted in the first round of the NFL and the Major League Draft. Little reverse action there by Lappin for Purvis. Gets a pickup of about 2 or 3 over left tackle. And Duck's helmet came off, so he has to exit the game. John Sawyer Williams. And now you're kicking yourself, aren't you?
The Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray is the answer, yes. Right under your nose. Kyler Murray, the quarterback of the Arizona Cardinals, and was the 8th pick of the Oakland Athletics in the Major League Draft. So it's a pitch sweep again to Lappin. They try the same play, and he is out over left tackle. Boy, he got slung backwards. And I don't know if there was a horse collar or a face mask, or it might have been a perfectly legitimate tackle by Varnado for Sumrall, but a gain of about 3 more brings up a 3rd down and 4 for Purvis now. Football is at the 47-yard line. Yes, Kyler Murray, the standout out of Oklahoma, the very first pick in the NFL draft and the 8th pick in the Major League Baseball draft, 8th pick in the first round by the Oakland A's. 3rd down and 4. Rolling to his right. Robinson wants to throw. Lofts it across the middle. He's got Johnson open. He was open at the 15-yard line, and he just didn't see the ball. Marshall Phillips and Tyler Daniels talking to each other there as somebody missed the coverage because Jesse Johnson was open, and Brad, had he seen that ball, it was there. It was there.
Absolutely, Kelly. And that's the second time tonight that Johnson has gotten behind these Sumrall defenders. And Johnson goes, about 6'3" or 6'4", so if he would have seen the ball, that would have been an easy touchdown.
So Hunter Robinson, the quarterback, will drop back in punt formation now at about the 35-yard line. And back is Tyler Daniels to track it at about the 16. Tries the far side of the field, now moves up but doesn't get a whole lot, up to about the 25. And a penalty flag comes down late, and we've got some more jawing going on at about the 35-yard line. And that flag came down about 2 seconds after the tackle was made. So again, some verbal truculence on behalf of somebody over there.
Purvis is on one personal foul for jawing back and forth, so you would think that this one may go against Sumrall, but no, they're going to call it against both of them.
But one of the things that this crew has got to understand is the emotions involved. Now that by no means condones the activity of either of these teams. And the officials have got to get on this early, otherwise it's only going to get worse. This is the battle of 589, but it's also a key matchup in District 7 4A, which these are the games now that count toward who goes to the playoffs and who doesn't. So 1st and 10. The line of scrimmage is the 25-yard line. Ford wants to throw. Looks to his left. He's got time. Across the middle. Daniels at the 45 makes the catch. He's in the open field. Cuts to the near side. Daniels down to the 30, the 20, and is pushed in the back and out of bounds at about the 15-yard line. No flags on the play. A big gain for the Sumrall Bobcat offense.
Yeah, Kelly, and I said coming into it, look for Tyler Daniels to pick up where he left off. He only had 1 reception before that one, but that one right there goes for 60 yards across the middle of the field. Good catch and run by Tyler Daniels.
But how about the offensive line? He has had all kinds of time to throw here tonight. 1st and 10 for the Rawcats, working right to left from the near hash mark in front of the Sumrall bench. 10 minutes, 8 seconds left to go here in the second quarter. Purvis leads this game 14-10. But Sumrall in the shadows of the end zone, working toward Bassfield here. If you're familiar with the layout at Lions Field. Back in the day, the home stands were on the other side for Sumrall. A little pass out to the left to Cocroft, and he makes the catch, but he's spun out of bounds at about the 12-yard line. About 3 yards on that hookup, and DJ Howard with the stop for Purvis. 2nd down and 7. Game 1 of a 3-game homestand here for Sumrall. The Aggies come in here next week. The Aggies of Forest County. That'll be homecoming. Then the new kids on the block, the Stone County Tomcats, or they just call Stone now.
Stone.
The Stone Tomcats. Ford wants to throw. He's got Barrett. Barrett down at the 5-yard line and is able to spin free, but not into the end zone. And another penalty flag comes down late at the line of scrimmage. And we've got some more chin gassing going on, it appears. Unless somebody was called for a late hold. Bobcats think it's on Purvis. So we'll see here. Barrett was down at about the 2. And this is a personal foul on Purvis.
Sumrall get half the distance there. What it amount to, Kelly, is about a
yard?
Yeah, well, actually, it looks like they had. Yeah, I saw they got it marked over there on the 3, so they'll move it up to the 1.5.
But that's the 3rd personal foul for Purvis here, and there's still 9:50 left to go in the 2nd quarter. So the Tornadoes a little hot under the collar here, and Purvis leads this game. So it's a 1st and goal from about the 1.5-yard line. Carson Duck to the left of John Ford. Ford gives it to Duck. Can't find anybody, and he is engulfed at the 8-yard line. He is dropped in the backfield. Purvis was bringing the house. And making the tackle was the outstanding linebacker, Eli Barrett. Barrett on the tackle, a loss on the play back to the 7. 2nd down and goal from the 7.
Purvis just brought the house there against the run, Kelly, thinking correctly that Sumrall was just going to try to hand it off that close to the goal line.
Cocroft and Dito to the far side of the field. And to the near side of the field for Sumrall is Brandon Harrison, the sophomore wide receiver who's getting some more snaps. Timeout is called. The Bobcats want to talk this over with 8:57 left to go here in the 2nd quarter. Coming up on the Priority One Bank halftime show, we'll be talking with the band director here at Sumrall to talk about the band. And actually just came off of a competition this past weekend, which the band performed well. So we'll learn more about the Sumrall Marching Band coming up at halftime on the Priority One Bank halftime show. And this reminder that Dandy Dan's Chevron in Sumrall is the go-to one-stop shop in Sumrall. Open at 6 a.m. whether you need a quick soft drink or maybe 3 different types of fuel, including diesel and non-ethanol. Dandy Dan's, like the Bobcat defense, won't let you down. Dandy Dan's Chevron in Sumrall is the sponsor of the offensive player of the game. Wishes Coach Shannon White and the team good luck in its quest for a District 7 4A title. 14-10, Purvis leads this one.
Kelly, just a stat to tell you where this Sumrall team was at. Sumrall's averaging less than 20 yards passing the ball since Ford has been out per game. Ford already in this game is thrown for 140 yards.
It's amazing, isn't it? Duck to the left of Ford on 2nd down and goal. They spotted it about the 5. Ford throws to the corner of the end zone, incomplete. Daniels was the intended receiver, but good protection over there in the corner. And Baden, the running back, got a hand on it to bat it away and brings up 3rd down and goal from about the 5.
Really, the only knock I see on Ford right now, Kelly, and he will learn this as he goes. He's just a sophomore. He was staring Daniels down that whole time when he got the snap. He never looked at anybody else, and the defense was able to react before he threw the ball, and that's why Baden was able to get there and knock it down.
3rd and goal. Again, Duck in the backfield. They give it to Duck. He tries the middle. Duck toward the end zone. Driving toward the end zone, being pushed. He's in. That's a Bobcat touchdown.
Great job by the entire Sumrall team. It looked like Duck's momentum may have stopped him just short, and then here came the rest of the team and just pushed him across that goal line.
That was just like a scrub rugby, right? The old student body forward play. So Duck from 5 yards out gives Sumrall the lead, with Bryson Smith on to try to tack on the extra point. Marshall Phillips will hold it. It's a high snap, but he's able to get it down, and this kick is good. With 8:35 left to go in the second quarter. It is Sumrall 17, Purvis 14. And so far, it's everything we thought it would be, Brian.
Yeah, Sumrall has actually had 3 possessions, only 3 possessions on the night on offense, but they've scored on every one of them. 2 touchdowns and a field goal. And there again, I mean, we don't mean to harp on it and keep saying it, but that is what John Ford's presence on that field brings to this Sumrall team. And as you alluded to earlier, Kelly, not just him, but all the sophomores that they have, with him being a sophomore, I mean, if this group stays together, those 8th graders you're talking about coming up, Sumrall's got a bright future here in football.
And in fairness, it's the quarterback position in general. And it doesn't matter whether you're playing rookie, midgets, peewees, or if you're in the NFL. If your team doesn't have a quarterback, you are sunk.
Well, absolutely. You got to have a leader back there that the kids believe in and they want to play for, okay? And John Ford, as a sophomore, has been that for this Sumrall team.
Bryson Smith kicks it away. Again, takes the short pooch at about the 25-yard line. Jesse Johnson wants to bring it back, almost runs into one of his own men as he cuts across the field, trying to string out the Sumrall special teams, but is wrapped up at about the 36-yard line. And that's where the Tornadoes will begin 1st and 10 as they work left to right. And Bryson Smith himself, the kicker, was in on the tackle there for Sumrall.
Speaking of Jesse Johnson, I know you alluded to him already being a 2-sport star.
Yeah, he's a stud in baseball.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, I've watched the game. Actually, it was Purvis against Oak Grove when he was a freshman. He had a walk-off home run to beat Oak Grove in that game. And right then, I said, who in the world is this kid? And now I know exactly who he is. An absolutely phenomenal athlete.
Comes out here to the near side as Purvis works from the far hash mark in front of the Purvis bench. But they hand it off to the right side on the carry for Sumrall. It's Lappin, Keoki Lappin, who gets it about 4 up to about the 39-yard line.
So Purvis, after that gain of 3, to bring up 2nd down and 7. As they break the huddle and come to the line.
Everybody in tight with Robinson under center. They'll try the left side, and cutting back is Cade Sherrill. And Sherrill is wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. No gain there. It'll bring up about a 3rd down and 7.
You'd like to see this Sumrall defense make Purvis go 3 and out and get Ford and that offense back out on the field.
The football dissecting the 40-yard line, and the Tornadoes have got to get to about the 46 and a half for the 1st down. Man in motion to the near side. Robinson rolls to his right, and we've got whistles and penalty markers everywhere.
The man that came in motion actually started toward the line of scrimmage. You can't do that. Now, you can do that in Canadian football, but you can't do it in the American version here.
That shows you just how smart the round mound of sound is. You want to know a football rule? Tell him what country first, and then he'll let you know what the rule is. Those of you that are watching on the YouTube channel, we know it says 16-14. The score is 17-14, but the referees that keep that score are actually on the other side of the field. So we can't communicate with them, and they apparently don't know their mistake. But again, it is 17-14, not 16-14. So 3rd down after the penalty, 3rd and 11. Robinson rolls to his right, wants to throw. He's being hounded. The pass is caught at the 50-yard line, and pulling it in is Cole Chabert at the 50. That's enough for a 1st down, and it'll move the chains on the far side of the field.
Well, that was a good job by Robinson there, Kelly, buying time and waiting for his man Chabert to come open. And so he delivered the pass right on the money, able to pick up a 1st down.
I wonder if Chabert is any kin to Lacey Chabert.
I'm going to say yes.
The actress that was on the show Party of 5 and starred in Lost in Space and has done a lot of Hallmark movies. She was a Purvis native who made her debut in Les Miserables.
Didn't know that.
On Broadway. 6:34 left to go in the second quarter. Handoff to Lappin. Lappin gets across the 45 down to the 44-yard line before Marshall Phillips pull him down. That's a 7-yard pickup for Purvis, trailing in this game 17-14. Sumrall leads this game by 3 with 6:14 left to go here in the second quarter in the Battle of 589. Everybody expects that Poplarville will be the big dog in District 7 4A. Greene County's got a good team, but they take 4 teams in the playoffs. And the first tiebreaker, of course, is head-to-head, so you want to win these games. Second down. They try the right side on the give and go. That will pick up about 3, but still not net a first down. Third down and about a yard. They're about a yard short. Nick Lauer on that carry there. Matthew Blackwell checks in from the Tornado bench on a 3rd down and 1. Both teams have been able to move the ball against other teams' defenses. Robinson on the quarterback sneak right straight ahead, and I think forward progress will net him the first down. As he sticks the football right across the 40-yard line at about the 39.5 in Sumrall territory. Carson Duck's helmet came off again, so he'll have to come out. And John Sawyer Williamson will come in to take over for Duck right now. 1st and 10 for Purvis, trailing in this game 17-14. Purvis coming off an exciting double overtime win against Stone last week. Winners of 4 in a row. Sumrall went to Leaksville and the Wildcats won that one. Quarterback keeper by Robinson. Justice Hanberry got in there after he was stopped, and I mean threw him to the ground like a rag doll. He was able to get about 5 on the play. So 2nd down and 5. Clock still moving with 4:34. And again, one of the things that Purvis wants to do is keep Sumrall's offense off of the field. Very similar to what Seminary did earlier this year. Remember, Seminary just grounded it out, kept running the football, getting first downs, taking their time, and that did not allow Sumrall. In fact, the Bobcats only got 7 snaps in the second half of that game. 2nd down and 5. Dive play right straight ahead. Trouble for Sumrall. Ball inside the 20 to about the 19-yard line. Caden Wines, the ball carrier. Got it down to the 19-yard line. Right between the tackles. And now from the far hash mark in front of the Purvis bench, the Tornadoes have a first down at the 19. A pleasant night, but still a little bit balmy, humid here in Sumrall. Robinson on the pitch to Baden. Baden gets the edge over there and is thrown out at about the 13 or 14-yard line. It'll net 4 or 5, and the Tornadoes been pretty consistent, Brad. 4 or 5 on first down, and you can keep chalking those up during the night. You're bound to have a good night.
Oh yeah, just take it as they come, Kelly. It's like they said, you know, if you can get 3 or 4 yards of play, you're going to consistently get first down and keep those chains moving. That's what Purvis has done so far.
And it opens up the playbook on 3rd down.
Exactly, and then when you least expect it, they hit you with a big one.
Well, this one is to Baden. They try the right side. He's following some blockers. He dives inside the 10. He's tripped up by Cruz Freeman at the 9-yard line, but that's about where he had to go for a first down. And if they notch the first down here, it would be 1st and goal for the Purvis Tornadoes, and it is officially a first down for the Purvis Tornadoes, who way back in the early 1900s, Purvis High School was known as Lamar County Agricultural High School, and they were called the Aggies. But then, of course, the infamous tornado came through, and the rest, as they say, is history. Handoff to Wines up the middle. Wines carrying people into the end zone. The ball came loose, but not until after he crossed the plane. This is a Purvis touchdown.
Yeah, that would have been interesting, Kelly. When the ball came loose, it went out the back of the end zone, and they're talking about it right now. That would be a touchback. And they're going to make sure, they're talking with that side official to make sure that the ball crossed the plane.
But the referee on that far side, Brad, was the first one to go with the arms up in the air that it was a touchdown. As soon as the ball cracks the plane, it doesn't matter.
Right, just the nose of the football crosses that first part of the line. But it is interesting what you said, Kelly. The official on the far side is the one who threw his hands up. Nobody here did, and so now they're talking about it. They do give him a touchdown.
And in all fairness, I think it would be not good, let's just put it that way, to take it away when it was indicated that it was a touchdown.
Correct, Kelly. And, of course, this is high school football. We don't have instant replay, thank the Lord. And or these games will be even longer.
You're not kidding.
But, the officials have to go with what they see. And apparently the official across the way saw that ball break the plane before it came loose. And so that's what he went with. Coach White trying to get a further explanation. But at this point, I believe a decision's been made.
Keoki Lapand, who serves as the kicker for Sumrall, is waiting.
And Coach White, he's got his back to us, but that's what he's saying. He said, look, your officials over here on the side where it happened didn't say a thing, and you're going with the man that's across the field. But either way, like I said, the officials have made their decision.
So Purvis has regained the lead. And actually, I said that Lapand was the kicker, but they have a 16 out there on the field. This might be Branson O'Neill.
Looks like a young lady kicker.
It is a young lady kicker. And the kick is up, and it's good. So how about that? Sumrall, who has a girl kicker, only to be matched by Sumrall's girl kicker. The thing is, I want to give her credit, Brad, and I don't have her name listed here anywhere.
No, she did. She's not on the roster, not as number 16. So,
and there doesn't appear. Doesn't appear to be what would normally be a female gender type name on the roster. So,
well, whatever your name is, congratulations.
And we're getting word that the coaches, the Sumrall coaches, have looked at some video saying that the ball was out at the 3-yard line.
Well,
before he crossed the goal.
And I think there again it goes to what Coach White was saying. Is you got the official across the field whose vision they relied on.
So it goes in the book as a Purvis touchdown. Cocroft at about the 10. Now right straight up the gut. Gets about the 22 before he is brought down by Caleb Shelby on special teams. So 1st and 10 for Sumrall, trailing in this game now 21-16. And we'll use the wisdom of the crowd. Any of you that might be watching or listening to this game that knows what the young lady's name is on the Purvis team that kicked that extra point, we'd love to know. So give us a text at 601-310-7077, whether you're watching on YouTube or on the Legend. Erroneously dumped immediately after making the catch. Baden on the coverage for Purvis. But that's a gain of 12 and a Sumrall first down. Other games in District 7 4A tomorrow night. Greene County will be in Brooklyn to take on the Aggies. And Stone will be playing Poplarville. That game is at Perkinston. And boy, you talk about two schools that are pretty close together and then get to play right there at Mississippi Gulf Coast. Stone at Poplarville. Stone against Poplarville at Perk. Another swing pass. Again, it is Cocroft. Cocroft weaving his way through traffic across the 40 to about the 41-yard line. That's a gain of 8 on the play. So Cocroft getting to show some of his skills. Getting 8 yards after the catch. As we near the 2-minute mark left to go in the second quarter, Purvis leading Sumrall 21-16. Ford rolls to his right, wants to throw, has his man, it's Cocroft again. In Purvis territory at about the 44-yard line, that's another first down. Gabe the Rage Cocroft with 3 consecutive pass receptions, has Sumrall on the move at the Purvis 44.
Okay, when Purvis scored, I looked up at the scoreboard, and there was over 2 minutes left. There's plenty of time for the Sumrall offense. This Purvis defense has not shown the ability to slow them down at all so far tonight.
Clock moving with 1:46 left to go here in the half. Bobcats got the football to begin the game. Purvis will get the ball to begin the second half. This is a pass to Daniels. Daniels at the 40. He's not going anywhere as Cade Sherrill wraps him up and dumps him after a pickup of about 2. Minimal gain there. But the clock will continue to roll with 1:20 left to go here in the first half. The Bobcats certainly want to at least get in field goal range. Now in the backfield is J.J. Parker, but Ford wants to throw. He's looking for Cocroft, and he was open at the 12-yard line and couldn't hang on. Gabe Cocroft was there.
Kind of saw Cocroft as the ball was in the air, kind of lose his footing and unable to bring it in. That would have been a big gain had Sumrall inside the red zone.
3rd down and 7. The yard to gain is about the 33. And the Bobcats have it at the 40 at Purvis's end of the field. 3 linemen up front for the Tornadoes. Again, Shannon White did not expect the Tornadoes to blitz a whole lot, and in fact they haven't all night, Brad. They have not brought the house the entire night, and honestly I thought they would a little bit to try to pressure Ford, who's been out of action, quite frankly, for 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, it is kind of surprising, Kelly, but they haven't done it thus far.
3rd down and about 7. Ford wants to throw this time. Steps up into the pocket. Barrett out of the backfield, but he got maybe a yard. 2 guys were shadowing him there. Cade Sherrill and Eli Barrett. Both linebackers had him wrapped up. So it's 4th down and 5 at the 38-yard line. Not close enough for a field goal. But the Bobcats call a timeout. So they'll come over here and talk it over. Other games involving Lamar County schools tomorrow night. Oak Grove plays at Meridian. And boy, after the Warriors lost to George County, they're in trouble now. Now they should get that one against Meridian. And they should beat Terry. But they'd still be in a situation where realistically they would have to win 2 out of the last 3 against Northwest Rankin, Brandon, and Pearl. And Northwest Rankin might be attainable, but Pearl and Brandon will be really tough nuts to crack.
Yeah.
And that's to get a playoff spot for Oak Grove.
Yeah, it was the loss to George County was really tough for the Warriors. And then come back last week, and of course you lose to Petal, which Petal has a fantastic football team. Already evidence that they beat Pearl earlier in the year. So that'll be an interesting division there, district there to watch and see if the Warriors can sneak in, but they're going to have to do something special.
Salem is playing at Lumberton in other Lamar County action, and in the National Football League this weekend, the New Orleans Saints travel to Jacksonville to face former Brandon High School quarterback Gardner Minshew.
What a story this kid has become, him and his mustache.
So 4th down and 5. The Bobcats coming out here to go for it. Will they go with a hard count? No. Ford, quick count. Wants to throw. Does. Toward the sideline, incomplete. The pass is incomplete. Daniels had to come back to try to get it, and he could not. So the ball goes over on downs with 34 seconds left.
We'll have to see if Coach Brad Hankins wants to roll the dice here.
I wouldn't think so, would you?
I wouldn't, Kelly. There's no sense in doing it, but Jesse Johnson has gotten behind that defense a couple of times, and, I don't know. You just see what Coach Hankins decides to do.
Brad Hankins, who for a long time was at Forest County AHS with Larry Dolan. And now Larry Dolan's son, Kyle Dolan, is on the staff at Purvis. They go with Baden on the pitch sweep to the left side. It'll be about a 3-yard, 4-yard pickup. But really that, for all practical purposes, would be the end of the half. But Brad, the other Brad, Hankins, calls a timeout. So he might be thinking exactly what you're thinking. Maybe another play to get it across the 50 and then let it rip.
Yeah, I mean, if you can give your quarterback Robinson time excuse me, and let him throw the ball. If he throws it 30 or 40 yards down the field, even if it gets intercepted, you really haven't hurt anything. So.
Other games on the schedule for tomorrow night. North Forest is playing at Collins, and Anthony, the coach at North Forest, has the Eagles playing well. They're going to Collins. Picayune, who many say is the best 5A team in the state, in Dodd Lee's last year. Picayune playing at Hattiesburg. You mentioned Petal earlier. Boy, what a murderer's row for the Panthers. They played Pearl, Oak Grove, and now Brandon tomorrow night.
They're 2-0 in the first two. So
back to back to back. Columbia playing at Jeff Davis County. And in a battle of undefeateds, West Marion playing at McGee. One other game of note, Tylertown, the Chiefs, will go up the other direction on 589 to take on the Seminary Bulldogs. Purvis 21, Sumrall 16, with 26 seconds left to go here in the first half. The line of scrimmage is the 43-yard line in Purvis's end of the field. So we'll see what play the Tornadoes come up with here. Tornadoes have won 4 games in a row. And after the Bobcats beat Newton County, were upended at Greene County last week. Don't look like they're in pass formation. They fake the handoff to Jesse Johnson and get it to Baden on a reverse. And he is pushed out at the 48-yard line. Cruz Freeman and Gabe Cocroft on the coverage for Sumrall. It's a first down, but really that's kind of moot at this point, with 16 seconds left to go in the half. Now they have it at the Sumrall 48. And I think like a chess match, they're just trying to position themselves to where maybe they can let one rip down the field.
Yeah, Baden came out and Lappin checked in. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the play they try to go for it. Cocroft has Jesse Johnson single cover.
And rolling that way. Robinson rolls that way, dumps it over the middle, incomplete. Lappin was the intended receiver down at about the 37-yard line. TJ Varnado was in coverage for Sumrall. Also there was James Ford, but a penalty flag. And this is a hold against the Tornadoes. So now I think you take a knee.
Oh, absolutely. There's only 10 seconds left.
And Purvis leading this one 21-16. Both bands expecting to perform here at half. It is a hold. Second down. Sumrall ends the season at Poplarville. And they'll know a lot more about their playoff situation at that point. Second down.
Second down for the Tornadoes.
They hand it off to Cade Sherrill just to really run out the clock. And with 1 second left, did the Tornadoes call a timeout? It looks like they did. There's zeros on the clock, but they might have to put one back on there.
It looks like that's what they're telling them. And he's looking over here, telling them to put 1 second on, and the clock keeper's over there.
And again, those of you watching on YouTube, it says 21-16, but the score is 21-17. I hope I haven't been saying 16, have I?
I don't know. I was thinking that was the score too, but you're right. It is 17. You never put that point up there.
2 touchdowns, 2 extra points, and a Bryson Smith field goal. His timeout is called now. Karen Thompson is watching the Battle of 589. Some of you are so creative with your text messages because she's got a blue heart and a gold heart, and I don't know how to do that.
Oh, I don't either. It's all I can do to type.
But see, I'm kind of type A when it comes to that, because when I type things, I have to do the quotations, I have to do the commas, I have to do all that.
Well, I felt really bad the other day. I got it. My mom, I was texting back and forth with my mom, and I texted something over to her, and she sent back an emoji, and I was like, she knows more about this stuff than I do.
When moms know more about their smartphones than you do. So 1 second left to go. The Tornadoes have it at their own 45-yard line, so look for a desperate heave down the field. Purvis leads 21-16. Robinson steps up into the pocket, throws it down the left sideline, out of bounds, nobody's there. And that now officially is the end of the first half. 2 quarters in the books here in Sumrall tonight. It's Purvis 21, Sumrall 17. And again, somebody needs to tell the officials along the far side that that scoreboard is wrong. It is 21-17. Shannon White, you can see talking to the white hat over there saying, man, you guys missed that when that ball was out at the 3-yard line. The go-ahead touchdown for Purvis. It looks like the ball might have been out. And Shannon White not very happy, as he will have a discussion before going into the locker room with his kids. Now they're meeting up again in the end zone, Shannon White and the referee, the white hat. Shannon White knows the importance of this game, Brad, and how big it is in District 7 4A when it comes to playoff spots. The first tiebreaker, of course, is how did you do head-to-head. And other than Poplarville kind of being the king of the hill and has been for a while, then it's really up to everybody else as to where those spots fall.
Yeah, and you really hate for a game of this magnitude to have a controversial play like that factor in, but it certainly has here, as it's given Purvis the lead. Otherwise, Sumrall would lead this game 17-14. So, human error is part of the game. We're assuming that is an error because the Sumrall coaching staff had reported to us that the ball came out on the 3-yard line. And if, in fact, that's the case, I mean, it's really, really a tough break for Sumrall, but nothing that can be done about it at this point, as the officials had made their decision and they stayed with their decision. So, like I said, Kelly, just very, very unfortunate that a play that controversial has already happened in this ballgame.
Plenty of time left, certainly, for Sumrall to get back in it. But I say back in it. It's a 21-17 game, and bad news is that the Tornadoes get the ball to begin the second half. But this game's certainly a long way from being over, and the fact that Sumrall now has the ability to score points when they execute. When honestly, in weeks past, when John Ford was down, and even when Cade Dito went down, and they played a lot of wildcat formations, other teams knew that the Bobcats were just going to run and simply loaded the box.
Yeah, and like I said, you have to at least have the threat of a pass. But when you average 20 yards a game throwing the football, and you go into these ball games, with that other teams knowing it, there's really nothing you can do. I mean, you're kind of handicapped going in. Sumrall, made the best of the situation. The best game, obviously, they played during that string of games was at Newton County. I think looking back, Coach Shannon White and them would say, look, we should have got the PCS game. If they could have got the PCS game, they come in here with a winning record, 4-3. But injuries are part of the game, and you got to play through them. And these kids didn't quit. I'll give them that. They came out there and they fought every week, and now they're able to get their quarterback back and see if they can't turn this thing around in the second half.
21-17, Purvis leads Sumrall as we head to our Priority One Bank halftime show. Home improvement projects stacking up. We'll let Priority One Bank help you tackle your to-do list without blowing your budget. A home equity line of credit uses the existing equity in your home as collateral backing and has unique repayment terms that work within the parameters of your budget. Just like all the products and services at Priority One Bank, a home equity line of credit comes standard with their superior level of customer service provided by a local lender who is empowered to make decisions and customize the entire process to meet your needs. Priority One Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Priority One Bank, sponsor of our halftime show where Purvis leads Sumrall 21-16 in the Battle of 589. Joining us now, Mike's side is Elizabeth Kottman, who's in charge of a bunch of different things here at Sumrall, including performing arts, broadcast journalism, all those things that kind of go hand in hand. We welcome you, Elizabeth. Good to have you here.
Hey, glad to be here.
So it's not many people that now there is a journalism class, yes?
Yeah, broadcast journalism.
So tell us how long that has been in existence and what y'all are doing.
So we've had that class, I would say, about 4 years, but in the last couple years, it's really grown. So we're doing a broadcast for our school, so we call that the Sumrall Scoop. And so we have that come out every 2 weeks.
So is it like a radio newscast? Is it tell us how all
like
that?
a television newscast. So
Oh,
we'll
it's
have
TV, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
So we'll have weather report, a sports section, different segments, entertainment, and all that good stuff.
Now, when I want to get your view on teaching broadcast journalism, because it seems like every channel, so to speak, on TV has to have a certain point of view rather than just reporting the news. So how do you present it from a teaching standpoint to the kids as to what is news and what is not news?
The correct way to have news would be for it to be unbiased. So that's the first thing that they would learn to, report facts, not one-sided, like news is tended to go to.
Yeah, but it's got to be kind of tough because when kids are on TV or kids watch TV, they're going, wait a minute, if we're supposed to be unbiased,
Right.
why does Fox News have this view? Why does CNN have this view, as it were?
Yeah, so we just basically teach them that the way it's supposed to be is, the viewer is the one who chooses.
Just report the facts.
Yeah.
And I've talked sometimes when I talk to college students about the difference between truth and opinion.
Yeah.
And I use this example. I say if I make the statement that Abraham Lincoln was tall, is that the truth or is that an opinion?
Yeah.
And they always say, oh, well, that's the truth. And I said, no, it's really just an opinion, because even though Abraham Lincoln was 6'2" or 3, whatever, he might not be very tall considering he's standing next to an NBA center.
Sure.
Right? So
Absolutely.
the fact when you say anytime there's an adjective involved, it's usually an opinion and not necessarily a fact.
Yeah.
And sometimes people, particularly in today's day and age, kind of get that mixed up.
Yeah, that's a great example. I might use that one.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. So is it just usually these type of classes are just for the upperclassmen and so on? How does it fit into the curriculum?
Yeah, so it's actually 9th through 12th grade. My students are able to take it as a 9th grader.
Wow. Does that give them English credits, or where does that fit in their overall graduation scheme?
I believe it's still an elective, but I also do the oral communication and technical theater and regular theater, so they all just kind of count for electives. Public speaking.
Okay, let's talk about that as well, because theater, I know Sumrall Little Theater now, or Sumrall Community Theater.
It's coming up.
Yeah, they presented Greater Tuna here, and I know they've got a Christmas show coming up. Mm-hmm. Where does the performing arts, do you think, fit overall in the grand scheme of things in a high school education?
Oh, it's extremely vital. I mean, some kids only come to school for performing arts, and would choose to drop out having not had that option. So it's huge.
So are you directing shows and so on? How extensive do you guys get?
Yeah, so we do 2 a year. We have one in the fall and one in the spring.
And what are we doing this fall?
So this fall we're doing Southern Fried Funeral. Everything that the South has to offer, so it's very entertaining. And in the spring, we'll be doing Annie Jr.
Okay, so
musical.
So the Southern Fried Funeral is probably, no doubt, taking little pot shots at our Southern way of life.
Yes,
a humorous look at life.
But
in
it's
this town.
good. It's good stuff. November 7th.
Now Annie Jr. Now, anytime you say junior, you're talking about a shorter version usually, right?
Yes, basically that's it. It's just a smaller version. So.
When you pick shows to do, is it something necessarily that you want to do, or do you design your selections based on who you have to cast in certain roles?
Yeah, definitely who we have, but also, the kids definitely put their input in as well, what they're interested in doing at that time, comedy versus drama and so on. So.
But Annie's a musical, right?
Yes.
So that's even a bigger beast to try to slay. Tell us about that.
Well, it's definitely fun. I actually have a dance background as well, so I really enjoy that too. And I think that doing musicals, you're able to, pull in even more children who are into the singing, the dancing, and the acting, or, just certain portions of that. So it's great to allow the students to have an even bigger opportunity. So it's a lot more to tackle, but it's worth it.
And I was going to say, as a director, so you're not only blocking staging, but you've got choreography that you have to deal with. You've got music you have to deal with. I'm telling you, musicals are tough. People don't realize how much work goes into them.
Yes, and just backstage work alone is an addition. So
Okay, your favorite musical ever is?
I really enjoyed that we've done anyway would be The Wizard of Oz. That was a really fun thing. But we also have done Grease before, and that was really entertaining as well.
But just as a spectator, if you were to go to New Orleans to the Sanger to see a show, what would be your favorite musical that you've ever seen or would like to see, maybe?
It's tough. I couldn't really say a favorite because I like, several different ones for different reasons.
Well, just give me one. Give me one that you like. Wicked's coming back, to the Sanger here, and actually this next month maybe.
Yeah, I mean The Wizard of Oz is classic, so we'll go with that.
Okay, and you did that here.
We did
as well. Right. So how are the kids responding?
To the program?
Yeah, just
for this particular show, maybe.
But just overall, a chance to be able to think outside the box a little bit and exercise those chops, as it were.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. The kids gain so many life skills from performing arts in addition to, being able to showcase their talents. So we're doing great.
There's a talk about the discipline involved with theater that a lot of people don't necessarily associate with theater.
So you're saying children's behavior?
Just the fact you got to be at rehearsals. You're up late at night. You got
So the dedication
lines,
is huge.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
So I think initially we really just, kind of set the standards to say, this is what's required for you to be successful, for you to have a great show, and that turn comes back on, you guys together as a group. So it's really just a little family, and they really have to understand ahead of time that it is definitely a lot of work to do, and you really reap the rewards when you do it, so it's worth it.
In years past, it's been difficult to get guys to come out to do shows and things like that.
I think we're pretty fortunate at Sumrall. We really have a good mix of both. But I have seen that in the past, with different schools and so on. Sometimes that is challenging. But again, I think that nowadays it's, equal ground in terms of gender. So more kids are coming around, both genders.
Elizabeth Kottman is with us now. Now, you also do, I guess, what other aspects? I mean, we've already talked a little bit about the theater part and all the other stuff, but involved in speech and drama?
Yeah,
and all
oral communication.
Oral communication. That was the term I was looking for, but wasn't very good at orally communicating. Does that include speech and debate?
It does, but unfortunately, because I do so many other subjects, the debate falls a little bit short. I would love for Sumrall to have that, but maybe in the future.
When you talk about debate, and you're around these kids a lot of time, I think one thing that us older folks don't do is give the kids enough credit as far as being politically attuned or in tune with the political climates in the country, good, bad, or indifferent. What's been your experience? Are kids pretty up to date on what's happening in the world?
Not as much as I think they should be, but, we've all been kids, and sometimes, you just grow and you learn to be more aware of what's going on around you.
Where are you from originally, Elizabeth?
I grew up in Washington State. I moved to the South when I was 15. I'm 37, so I've kind of been here more than there.
Wow, Washington State, that's a long way away.
It is.
What, military, bring you down here?
No. Well, my dad works with NASA now, so.
Where in Washington?
Outside Seattle, Tacoma, Spanaway area.
Okay, not Kirkland or, let me see. My brother lived in Bothell, Washington.
Okay.
And is there a Lake Washington up there, or Lake George, or something up there? Right?
I'm not
Lake Washington?
familiar with.
Well, you've been gone a long time.
I'm familiar with Kirkland, but I was 15.
I gotcha. Well, we thank you for being here, and tell us about the fall show again, and where can people keep up to date as to what you guys are doing?
Thank you for the opportunity. So November 7th, 6 p.m., Sumrall High School Performing Arts Center, Southern Fried Funeral.
Just one shot?
It's just going to be one night for that show. Now, Annie will have more, but that's just got to be there.
November 7th, that is a what night?
That is going to be a Thursday. We do these shows during the day as well for students. So.
It's smart that it's Thursday because we're hoping that Sumrall will be playing a little football on Friday, November 8th. So
Absolutely.
We're hoping that's good. Thursday, November 7th. And where can people, is there the school website keeps everybody up to date? Do you guys have any social media pages, whatnot?
Yeah, we do not have a social media page for our drama club. However, is some things that are kept up with regarding drama on our Facebook page.
All right, and is that Sumrall Drama Facebook page?
Well, we don't have a Facebook page for drama, but the high
The
school.
school. Okay, and so they'll be able to keep you up to date on that November 7th performance of Southern Fried Funeral. A look at the way we do things in the South. It's okay if we make fun of ourselves. We just don't want, outsiders making fun of us, right? Well, Elizabeth, continued success. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, we're at halftime here. The Priority One Bank halftime show continues. The Purvis Tornadoes lead the Sumrall Bobcats 21-16 as the Sumrall Band begins to perform here. The Purvis Band has already made its way on and off the field. Again, this game moved to tonight because of some impending weather that may be in the area tomorrow. But again, I think it worked out well for both schools because the first 9 weeks of the academic year came to an end today, and the kids don't have school tomorrow or on Monday. So if they wanted to get a long weekend in or whatever, they are able to do that. Homecoming on campus at Southern Miss on Saturday. The kickoff against North Texas is at 6 o'clock. It's also homecoming on the campus at Pearl River Community College in Poplarville, but so as to not play football at the same time Southern Miss is on the field, the Wildcats and Southwest Bears will play at 2 o'clock on Saturday afternoon in Poplarville. Again, the weather forecast for partly cloudy skies and temperatures maybe 70 degrees. And man, we have been waiting a long time for that. Lots of games on the schedule tomorrow. District 7 4A. The rest of the schedule for 7 4A will be played. In Brooklyn, Greene County will play the Aggies. Stone and Poplarville will be playing at Mississippi Gulf Coast at Perkinston. Other Lamar County games tomorrow include Salem at Lumberton. Oak Grove travels to Meridian. And I have no idea what has happened to the Meridian Wildcats. The once mighty Meridian Wildcats have been getting drubbed by just about everybody this year. And, of course, we're certainly hoping that Oak Grove can go up there and continue that trend tomorrow. Other games around the area. Tomorrow night, North Forest travels to Collins. Picayune is at Hattiesburg. Brandon plays at Petal. Columbia is at Jeff Davis County. Tylertown at Seminary. West Marion at McGee. Besides Southern Miss's game, Mississippi State will be at Knoxville to take on Rocky Top, the Tennessee Volunteers. Ole Miss travels to Columbia, Missouri to take on Mizzou. And in the National Football League, the New Orleans Saints will play the Jacksonville Jaguars in Jacksonville. So that gets you up to date on other football from around the area. 21-17 here. 21-17. Purvis leads Sumrall, and the Tornadoes will get the ball to begin the second half. But to tell us how we got to this 21-17 score is the living legend, the star of stage, screen, and post office walls, the round mound of sound, Brad Bounds.
Thank you so much, Kelly. As Kelly mentioned, Purvis leads this game 21-17 at the half. We'll look at some stats inside the numbers here, if you will. Purvis came in to the ball game averaging 226 yards on the ground. They rushed for 150 in the first half. They came in averaging 86.9 through the air. They had 63 in the first half. So 150 on the ground, 63 in the air for a total of 213 yards for Purvis in the first half. They did not turn the ball over. They were penalized 5 times for 48 yards. Looking at it individually, Hunter Robinson, their quarterback, connected on 3 of 6 passes for 63 yards and 1 touchdown. He also ran the ball 3 times for 9 yards. Ty Baden is the leading rusher, came into the game as a leading rusher for the Tornadoes at 527 yards on the year. In the first half, he ran the ball 7 times for 93 yards, the biggest one being a 62-yard touchdown on just the second or third play of the ball game. Cade Sherrill ran the ball a couple of times for 5 yards. Caden Wines has carried the ball 5 times for 26 yards, one of those carries being a 5-yard touchdown. And Keoki Laphand has carried the ball 5 times for 7 yards. Receiving-wise for the Tornadoes, Cole Chabert caught 1 pass for 15 yards, and the other 2 passes were hauled in by Jesse Johnson, 1 for 6, and the other one for 42 yards, the 42-yarder being a touchdown. So just recapping that again, Purvis 150 yards on the ground, 63 through the air for a total of 213 yards in the first half. Now as we look at Sumrall, and this is where it gets pretty interesting. We've made mention a lot of John Ford being back on the field behind center in a shotgun, taking snaps for the Sumrall Bobcats. And Sumrall came into the game averaging just over 200 yards a game, 201.8 to be exact, 125 yards, 125.4 on the ground, and 76.4 through the air. And as we look at the numbers in the first half, it's flip-flop. Sumrall gained 30 yards on the ground and 177 yards through the air. So already 100 more yards in the air than they've averaged per game so far this season. So 207 total yards for Sumrall in that first half. Sumrall did not turn the ball over, and believe it or not, Sumrall was not penalized. So no turnovers, no penalties against the Bobcats in the first half. The aforementioned John Ford, as we look at individual stats, has done well thus far, completing 12 out of 20 passes for 177 yards, 1 touchdown, that being from 38 yards. He's also ran the ball twice, but has lost a yard in those 2 runs. Gabe Cocroft, who was moved back out at his normal position at wide receiver, has caught 4 passes for 40 yards. He's also ran the ball once for 5 yards. Tyler Daniels, who came in as a leading receiver for Sumrall with 207 yards on the year, has caught 3 passes for 72 yards here in the first half. Hayden Barrett has caught 4 passes for 60 yards, one of them being a 38-yard touchdown. Kay Dito has caught 1 pass for 5 yards. The leading rusher for Sumrall in the first half is the Quack Attack, Carson Duck. He ran the ball 6 times for 26 yards, one of those being a 5-yard touchdown. So if you look at these numbers again, side by side, Purvis 213 yards in the first half, Sumrall 207 yards in the first half. So only six yards separating the two. But Kelly, the big story here for me is looking at these Sumrall stats. Like I said, is it's just flip-flop now. With John Ford back in there, the rushing stats go down, the passing stats go up. And it's just amazing at what this young kid does for this football team.
But the fact that regardless of who they're playing, they're right there.
Right.
You know, and those number of yards either way certainly would indicate that you've got a chance to win this game. And a cheer goes up not only for the Sumrall band, but for the fact that, or is that the Purvis band? Maybe I'm not sure. Their uniforms are kind of similar. I think that's the Sumrall band. But nonetheless, the referee has put the extra point up on the board. Those of you watching on the YouTube channel at Sumrall Athletics. By the way, all Sumrall social media has that moniker of at Sumrall Athletics. So whether it's Twitter, YouTube, wherever, at Sumrall Athletics is where you want to be to follow that. And I'm on Twitter as well at Kelly Sanner, just Kelly Sanner. Shows you how old I am when Twitter was first around. KELLYSANNER. You can give me a follow. And Brad, you're on social media as well, yes?
No.
You're not? Okay, well, good for you. Good for you.
No, I protest.
Okay, no, good for you. Hey, when you need a loan, you expect to work with a banker who understands your needs and will get things moving. Our loan officers are empowered with loan authority to make decisions. And what's more, at Priority One Bank, they can normally make decisions the same day. So why wait for days to learn the result of your loan application? At Priority One, they won't keep you waiting. You can call or drop by to visit one of the local decision makers. Priority One Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Kelly Sanner along with the mound of sound, Brad Bounds, as we get ready for the second half of play. And you see John Ford right here below us. And he is stretching that arm out and seeing just exactly how far he can sling it. And that perfect spiral just went about 40 yards in the air. So he looks like he is indeed. I think you made a really good point, too, Brad, earlier, that Shannon White, although the district game last week against Greene County was important, of utmost importance is a young man's health. And he was not going to, as important as we've noted that John Ford is to this team, Shannon White's not going to cut him loose until he's 100% sure he's ready to go.
Oh, absolutely. And that
to me, is your responsibility as a head coach to these kids. I mean, yes, everybody wants to win, okay?
But a lot of these kids want to go before they're ready.
Exactly, but there again, as a head coach, and you have trainers nowadays that you know rely on. I mean, that's their responsibility. And even though these kids are going to say, "Coach, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good," you know, the coach is in touch with that trainer, and that trainer's letting him know yes or no. And it's for the betterment of the kids. They may not see it that way, but it really is.
So ready to go here in the second half with Purvis leading Sumrall 21-17. The Bobcats will kick it off left to right. Again, the Bobcats in their white helmets with powder blue tops and powder blue pants with those breast cancer awareness pink socks. The Tornadoes looking down their uniforms here with the gold helmets, white shirts, and white, but I don't see any pink socks there for.
No?
I guess the Tornadoes electing, of course, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And I remember even in the youth football leagues, the little guys, the rookies and peewees, they all have to have their pink socks. But of course, they emulate their NFL heroes. Bryson Smith to kick it away as we get underway here in the second half. Thanks to all of our sponsors who make it possible. Sumrall Lawn Care, who sponsors the inside the 20 Sumrall Lawn Care Red Zone, and the Town and Country Cleaners scoreboard. Baden pulls it down at the 35-yard line, cuts back to the middle. This could be trouble. He gets to the far sideline, now cuts it back in. Is tripped up at about the 38-yard line, and Bryson Smith again, the tackler, he's the kicker for Sumrall. A short field here for Purvis. They have it 1st and 10, the Tornadoes do, at the Sumrall 39-yard line.
Yeah, that's one of the dangers of kicking that little pooch kick right there. If you got people that can return it, and Purvis wisely moving Baden up instead of back for the kick, moving him up to where he was in position to do so. And really good return and a good effort by the, as you said, the Sumrall kicker by making that tackle.
From right to left go the Tornadoes, working toward Bassfield in front of their own bench from the far hash. Dive play, handing the football right up the middle to Caden Wines is Robinson. A gain of about 5 on the play as he goes right up the gut. Cole Daniels was there on the stop. 2nd down and 5, just underway here in the second half with Purvis leading Sumrall 21-17. Big game here, not only for 589 bragging rights, but in the 7-4A standings, they take 4 out of the 6 teams in the district for the playoffs. Hand off to Baden. Baden tries the right side of his offensive line, the left side of the Sumrall defensive front. Picks up about 2 on the play, and making the tackle there was Gavin Friend, the junior defensive tackle for Sumrall. 3rd down and 5. Big play coming up. So here we go. On 3rd down and 5, both of these teams have been very efficient tonight in late down plays. 3rd down and 5 here. Robinson, who has been under center most of the night, is again pitches to the left side, but shutting Ty Baden down. Maybe a gain of a yard, but the quack attack was there. Also, Ford, James Ford, Cole Daniels was in there as well. So 4th down and 4.
McKellen, they're in one of those positions where you really don't benefit kicking a field goal or punting the football, and you're too far to kick a field goal. So the Tornadoes will go for it here on 4th and a long 4.
I would expect a hard count here, first of all. See if they can get the Sumrall Bobcats to jump. And really, Brad, this game's been pretty cleanly played as far as, illegal motions and false starts, things like that. There have been some personal fouls, and the Tornadoes actually now will want to discuss this with 9 minutes 54 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter. Purvis leading Sumrall 21-17. Glad that you're with us on the Legend 105.9 WHSY FM or on the YouTube channel, Sumrall's YouTube channel at Sumrall Athletic. Sumrall Athletics. A Thursday night game, a rare Thursday night game. Some of the other games around the state played tonight. Some of those were originally scheduled to be played on Thursday night. Others, mainly along the Mississippi River, anticipating some bad weather, went ahead and moved their games to tonight. But Bobcats and Tornadoes going ahead and getting this one off the ledger. So the Bobcats break their huddle. And here come the Tornadoes now out of their huddle. Brad Hankins, who comes from a long line of coaches in the Hankins family, and his son Carter now, who's led Forest County AHS to a state championship as quarterback. He's being groomed to be another football coach. 4th down. Robinson wants to run it himself, cuts it upfield. Penalty marker comes down late. I think he was about a yard short anyway, Brad. And this is a hold against the Tornadoes.
Yeah, Kelly, I think what Coach Shannon White will see, he'll try to see, the spot.
If they're short, you decline it.
Yeah,
Right?
obviously, because you get the football. And I think
He's well short. Looks like that's the flag I see, not the football. So
right, I can't tell.
a couple of the Tornadoes, they're not trying to, but blocking our way. Nathan Emfinger and Judson Weller are out there kind of blocking our view. Well, they got some big youngins at Purvis. Kenneth Carr also out there. Boy, that football is right there at the first down marker. But again, because it was 4th down, they'll measure this, and if Purvis is short, then it makes the decision easy for Shannon White. You decline the penalty and take the football.
Right, and that's what they're going to do. They're going to measure it.
And when you look to the right end of the Sumrall bench here, it kind of looks like the MASH unit with people on crutches and casts on boots. They're short. The football goes over to the Bobcats. So Sumrall holds on 4th down. And the Bobcats trailing 21-17 take over on downs.
Well, that was a big stop by the Sumrall defense. We'll see if they can't roll that momentum over into the offense and put some points on the board as they have finally got the score right.
And the reason why that point, not that you're going to lose a lot of sleep over it, but Sumrall has, here at Lions Field, has 2 press boxes. The old press box, which is across the way, and again, back 100 years ago when I started my career here, that was the home side for Sumrall, and that's where the press box was. But now that they added this side, they've got 2 press boxes, and before this play can develop, penalty markers come down, and I think the Tornadoes may have been offside. And that is the call.
6th penalty on the night for Purvis, Kelly.
So just when I said how cleanly it was played, now.
Well, and as we mentioned at halftime, no penalties so far in the game against Sumrall.
That's nearly unheard of. 1st down and 5 with 9:43 left to go. But I was saying that the referees keep looking over here to give us signals, but the referees are actually in the other press box. Ford wants to throw, steps up into the pocket, can't find anybody, and he goes down. At the 30-yard line, he is dropped, a loss of 5 on the play. Coverage broke down just a little. The offensive line has given him plenty of time tonight, but that time, credit the Tornadoes for coming through.
And he tried to step up in the pocket, but there was just nowhere for him to go as that Purvis pass rush got to him.
9 minutes, 15 seconds left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Sumrall trailing Purvis 21-17. It is 2nd down and 10. Ford calls for the football. He pitches it right side to the Quack attack. And he does get forward for about 3 or 4. The Purvis crowd fired up on the tackle. But Duck got about 3. It brings up a 3rd down and 7. So we'll see if Ford goes to the air here. He's got Cocroft and Daniels out to the far side. And the Tornadoes really have neutralized Tyler Daniels tonight. Does he even have a reception? Does Tyler have?
Yeah, he does. Kelly actually has 3 for 72 yards.
Okay.
He had that one big one in the first half.
Oh, that's right. Ford throws across the middle. It's in and out of the hands of Cocroft. He had to go up the ladder a few steps at about the 40. Off of his fingertips, incomplete. Brings up 4th down and 7.
That's unfortunate for Sumrall as the defense had come up with a big stop and Sumrall unable to pick up a 1st down.
Marshall Phillips making his initial appearance tonight as a punter in the contest for Sumrall. He'll set up shop at about the 20-yard lines. Jesse Johnson back at about the 30 to try to track it for the Naders. The Purvis Tornadoes, the Sumrall Bobcats. It's a perfect snap. Phillips gets away a nice punt that Johnson lets bounce past him at the 28-yard line, and the Bobcats will down it at about the 27. Looked for a moment like Johnson was going to make an effort at it, but wisely let it go past him.
The ball did bounce back and hit Johnson, but he was blocked into the ball. The Sumrall defender had contact with him, so the ball stays with Purvis.
So the Tornadoes will have it at the 27, working right to left, or toward Bassfield here. People always say, what do you mean working toward Bassfield? I'm saying the direction of Bassfield, yeah. This field is parallel to Highway 42, the way that it sits. So you're either working toward Lux or you're working toward Bassfield, right?
Man, too many people even know where Lux is at.
Oh man, if you're not sleeping in Lux, you might as well be camping out, right? Lux is in Covington County, isn't it?
It is.
Okay. You know your geography pretty well.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
I do. I have to.
8 minutes, 20 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. 21-17. Purvis leads Sumrall. No scoring here in the third quarter so far. Each team has had one possession. Other than turning it over on downs, no fumbles or interceptions tonight.
No, not by either team. No turnovers. So
taking care of the pigskin quite well. Jesse Johnson to the near side here on first down. Robinson at quarterback. Hands off. They try the near side of the field. And being wrapped up is Cade Sherrill on the run. Might have gotten forward for a yard or so. Raymond McRaney has checked in tonight. It's an official Sumrall broadcast now with Raymond McRaney checking in. He's watching the game in Hattiesburg tonight. If you want to let us know where you are, let us know at 601-310-7077. That is our text message number. We call it our Sumrall roll call. Let us know where you are tonight. Second down and 9. Robinson wants to throw. Lofts this one up down the sideline. This ball is intercepted or caught. It is caught by Jesse Johnson at the 38-yard line, and he was simply taller than Gabe Cocroft.
Yeah, Kelly, that's all that was there, as Robinson just threw it up for grabs, and Jesse Johnson able to go up and get it for a gain of about 30 yards on the play.
But Johnson hobbled a little bit as he's going off the field along the far sideline. It's a first down at the Sumrall 38-yard line. Gabe Cocroft couldn't be in any better position. He simply wasn't as tall as Johnson. And Johnson went up and got it. First down and 10. Robinson, as penalty flags come down, we have a false start against, oh wait a minute, he's pointing the wrong team. It's against Purvis. The Purvis Tornadoes. And actually, you know, I'm a big history buff, and I love these, you know, old facts about schools. Where they are playing football now at Purvis, where their home field is at Purvis, over 100 years ago, that was a cornfield that they used as an experimental, you know, place to teach kids agriculture when it was Lamar County Agricultural High School. And they took the cornfield down and made a football field out of it. Pitch sweep right side, Ty Baden. Baden trying to stretch the Sumrall defense, tries to get the edge, but only got about a yard or two, and another late flag comes in. J.J. Parker's mama is watching the game tonight. She's watching from home from the 601. J.J. Parker, what a future he has here for Sumrall. This will go against the Tornadoes, it would appear. The Bobcats are pointing the direction of the Tornadoes. And it came in as the tackle was made along that far sideline. It's another personal foul against Purvis.
I know Coach Brad Hankins can't be happy with his guys for that, because
lots of times people will read into a lack of discipline on those plays. And Purvis throughout the years has been one of the better disciplined teams throughout the area. But tonight, according to my records, 4 personal foul calls against the Tornadoes.
I would think it would be second down. I don't know why they're getting the down over.
Well, it does say first down. As we reset the table for you, the Tornadoes are now back in their own end of the field at the 47, and they've got to get to the Sumrall 29. So it is second down. You were correct, Brad. They have changed that now. Second down and forever for the Tornadoes with 6:40 left to go in the third quarter. Purvis leading Sumrall 21-17. Robinson still goes under center. They fake the pitch to Johnson. Throws the football looking for a receiver. This ball is nearly intercepted, but incomplete. Marshall Phillips was back there in zone and almost picked it off, but Tyler Daniels was in the area as well.
Yeah, Phillips was like playing center field on that. He was camped up under it. Then Daniels kind of came in at the last minute. Otherwise, Phillips would have had an interception.
By the way, we mentioned J.J. Parker's mama watching the game. Have a chance to talk to J.J. Parker. Mama, he is a great kid. Always respectful and always smiling and always has good things to say to me. And us older folks appreciate that. So, Mama Parker, we salute you and J.J. Third down and really about 27 yards. Long way to go for the Tornadoes. On third down, Robinson back to throw. Now rolls to his right, tucks the football, runs it himself, but gets out of bounds far short of the first down. But at least maybe gets him a little more room to work, as I would suspect the punting unit will be deployed here. With 6 minutes and 13 seconds left to go in the third quarter. So the quarterback, Robinson, Hunter Robinson, who was the second baseman on the Purvis baseball team last year, will kick it at about the 44-yard line. And Gabe the Rage Cocroft back at the 15 for Sumrall. It's a perfect snap. They'll try to kick it away from Cocroft, and they put it into the corner. And man, what a kick. It squirts out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. So 1st and 10. The Bobcats will have a long way to go, trailing in this game 21-17 with 6:04 left to go here in the third quarter. We want to thank Dandy Dan Chevron and Sumrall and Bellevue for their continued support of Sumrall Bobcat football. Also Hattiesburg Clinic Children's Clinic and Dr. April Gilmore. Sumrall Lawn Care, where even though we're heading into the fall and winter months, your lawn still needs a different kind of care, and they can handle that for you at Sumrall Lawn Care. They handle our In the Red Zone sponsorship. Town and Country Cleaners on Hardy Street in Hattiesburg, which gives you scores of other games from around the area. But we're kind of in the spotlight tonight as the only game in town, literally and figuratively. On first down, Ford gets the ball, wants to throw, can't find anybody open, now just slings it toward the sideline and over the head of Cade Dito. Wisely nobody open, and rather than take a potential sack, he dumped it out of bounds, incomplete. With 5:57 left to go here in the third, Purvis continuing to lead Sumrall 21-17. But I have noticed, since you made a note of that earlier, Brad, about how young John Ford, whoever he's going to initially, that's the only direction he's looking. But you also made the point, too, that will come with time. That is
Absolutely
a tool of the trade that he will learn as he grows into his puppy feet, so to speak. Second down and 10. And we talked about J.J. Parker, and I think he's in the ball game now. He is, to split to the right of John Ford, and he has run the ball exceptionally when he's gotten it. He's got it right there. Turns his legs up the middle, still continuing to work, and gets across the 10 all the way up to the 12-yard line, maybe the 13 or 14, depending on the spot. He was finally brought down by Eli Barrett, the linebacker. Gain of about 4, second down and 6. Clock moving with 5.5 minutes left to go here in the third. Third down and long, and you'd like to at least get a little more breathing room at this end of the field to give Marshall Phillips some room to work. Parker again to the right of Ford. You'd think they'd go to the air here. We'll see. Ford looking. Throws across the middle. The intended receiver was Dito. Incomplete over his head. 4th down. And that'll bring Marshall Phillips and the punting unit back in again.
Ford's missed on his first 3 attempts here in the second half. So unable to get things going thus far.
And really, Sumrall trailing in this game 21-17 in the battle of field position. Purvis has been winning that battle most of the night.
Yeah, they really have.
They've had short fields most every possession. Phillips, 2 yards deep, is able to get this one away. Johnson will just watch it as it actually takes a Purvis bounce. At the 46-yard line, it looks like they'll spot it. So a short field indeed for the Tornadoes here, and the always rugged Sumrall defense will be called upon again here to try to force a 3-and-out, or at least get in a situation to get the offense the football again with 4:51 left to go here in the third. No scoring here in the third quarter. A couple of touchdowns. Hayden Barrett has one on the pass reception. And Carson Duck on the run from 4 yards. Those are the 2 touchdowns. Bryson Smith has chipped in a 32-yard field goal. 1st and 10, dive play right straight up the middle. Caden Wines, the junior fullback, forward for a gain of about 3 or 4. Justice Hanberry in there on the stop for Purvis. Boy, Justice Hanberry and Cole Daniels, a lot of great juniors on that offensive or defensive line. 2nd down. Robinson puts a man in motion. They hand it off again, right side, again to Wines, down to the 36. Near the 1st down. But Purvis has been pretty consistent tonight. 4 yards, 5 yards, 3.5 yards every time they run the ball.
Yeah, Wine's just doing what you expect a fullback to do, just getting 3 or 4 tough yards every time he carries it.
The joke in Purvis, as Wines, who's just a junior, they said that he's been aging nicely, like any wine would. So they're going to bring the chain gang out here. They called for a 3rd and 1. Tonight, the chain gang has been busy. I'm not sure any high school game that we've called this year, we've had the chain gang deployed as much as they have tonight. About a half a yard short, if that much, for the Tornadoes with 4:08 left to go. Sumrall back at home next week against the Forest County Aggies. The Aggies in action tomorrow night against the Greene County Wildcats. And Stone plays Poplarville down at Perk. 3rd down and a yard. Robinson hands it off. They have enough for the 1st down and more inside the 30 down to about the 28-yard line. On the carry is Baden. Spotted at the 28. So they move the chains. Clock moves with 3:45 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. The Tornadoes nearing the Sumrall Lawn Care red zone. Anytime any team gets inside the 20-yard line, they're inside that Sumrall Lawn Care red zone. Sumrall Lawn Care, a longtime supporter of Sumrall Bobcat football. 1st and 10, pitch sweep left side to Baden. Baden cuts it back in the middle, down inside the 20 to about the 16-yard line. Marshall Phillips tripped him up. And Digger Freeman put the final nail in the coffin there, but not until he got down to about the 16-yard line. That's a gain of 11 and a 1st down.
Yeah, Baden runs the ball hard. Kelly's now up to 118 yards on the night with a touchdown.
You talked to Brad in the pregame show about how the Tornadoes will bring in fresh legs. So they've always got fresh tread on the tires. And you NASCAR fans know what that means. When you have that fresh tread, you're going to go to the head of the pack. Wines cuts it back to the left on the handoff. Still churning the legs inside the 10. Working hard. It took 2 Bobcats to bring him down. Cocroft and Freeman. Got down to about the 10-yard line. 2nd down and about 4 after the pickup of 6. 2:35 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Sumrall trying to keep Purvis out of the end zone. Purvis leading this game 21-17. Johnson, looks like there was kind of a botched play, and the handoff is executed, but Lappin gets the handoff, and I don't think he got much at all. So it brings up a third down. The Tornadoes can get a first down at about the 5 as we near 2 minutes left to go. And Purvis is now definitely inside the Sumrall Lawn Care red zone. Sumrall Lawn Care can trim up those trees and shrubs in the winter months. Get you ready for Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas upcoming. Sumrall Lawn Care. Lappin again looking for room right side, and he can't find anything. He is dumped. No gain on the play. Big Cole Daniels was there. His presence was felt. So now 4th down, what do you do, Brad Bounds, if you're Brad Hankins?
Well, I don't think they have much of a kicking game, Kelly, because they've gone for 2. Now, they did bring a young lady in who made the extra point. Didn't have much more distance. So I think at this point, you're kind of forced to go for it.
Well, they've got Jesse Johnson in there. Hunter Robinson, the quarterback, brings the play in from the sideline. Let's see if they go with a hard count, see if they can get the Bobcats to jump off sides. Clock moving with 1:05 left to go. Robinson in the shotgun. Looks to throw across the middle. He's got Jesse Johnson. Touchdown, Purvis. That little slant is so hard to defend, especially when you've got a 6'4", 6'5" receiver cutting across the middle.
Oh, absolutely, Kelly. And a good job by Robinson putting it right on the money. Jesse Johnson with a good hand brings it in for his 2nd touchdown of the night.
So again, the young lady on to kick the extra point. We do not have her name. Any of you from Purvis that are watching, if you can text it to us at 601-310-7077. We want to make sure she gets the credit she deserves. The kick is up, and the kick is good. With 47 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter, it's Purvis 28, Sumrall 17. So the Bobcats will have to get something working here with essentially 1 quarter left to go, because there's only 47 ticks left in this one.
Yeah, they've had a couple of possessions here in the 3rd quarter. The first one really disappointing because the defense came up with a big stop, and then the Bobcats went 3 and out. The second one, they were pinned down deep in their own territory, but again, go 3 and out as John Ford, as I mentioned, has not connected on any of his passes thus far. And Purvis will get set to kick this one off. Looks like Gabe Cockcroft and Tyler Daniels are back deep. They're standing at about the 10-yard line.
Savannah Cooper is the name of the Purvis kicker. So thank you, everybody, for getting that to us. Savannah Cooper, congratulations on your 2 extra point kicks tonight. Tyler Daniels takes the kick off at about the 9-yard line. Looks for a wedge, finds some up the middle, but then immediately is stuffed. Eli Barrett, who normally plays linebacker but also on specialty teams, makes the stop for the Tornadoes, and Sumrall will set up shop 1st and 10 at about the 29-yard line, it would appear.
Kelly, just a quick story about in Bronzeville, a young lady kicking reminds me of this, and a lot of my old buddies listen to us. So Chris Robbins was on this team. We were playing an all-star tournament years ago. We were playing against a team, and a girl comes out to pitch, warming up for the game. Of course, we're just all laughing, so we're fixing to just tee off on her. I mean, this girl was bringing it, shut us down, like 2 hits at the game. So, I've learned to respect female athletes through the years.
That serves you right, right? 1st and 10 for Sumrall, working left to right. Ford out of the shotgun. Twin receivers each way, each side of the line. Looking to his left. Slings it down, looking for the man coverage. He's got Daniels in the area, but batted away down at the 40-yard line. Baden was there in coverage. Again, Daniels had man-to-man coverage.
Yeah, Ford just underthrew that one. Didn't get enough behind it, Kelly. But Baden had good coverage on Daniels either way. It would have had to have been a perfect pass just right over the shoulder for that to be a completion.
And in the Sumrall secondary, you've got Jesse Johnson and Baden, both probably the 2 fastest guys on the Purvis team. And Brad Hankins said in his talk with the media before the game, he said, we have been burnt toast in the secondary, so they've had to make some changes there. tonight they've been effective. They fake the handoff to Tweeter Barrett, and Ford runs it himself across the 30 to the 35. He was hit by Ty Harrell, the cornerback. It's a gain of 5, brings up a 3rd down and 5, and probably won't snap it before the end of the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, and Kelly, if there's any doubt of whether or not John Ford is at 100%, he has to be, or you don't call that play right there. With it coming off a broken collarbone, he faked that handoff and just took it right up into the middle of that Purvis defense. But young man is standing tall, is playing good, so see if he can't rally this team here in the 4th quarter.
3 quarters in the books here at Lions Field in Sumrall. It's Purvis 28, Sumrall 17 in the battle of 589. District 7 4A action. Good luck to all the other area teams that have games tomorrow night, including Oak Grove at Meridian and Lumberton hosting Salem. We also want to thank State Farm Insurance agent Davis Smith for his continued support of Sumrall Bobcat football with his sponsorship of our 2nd quarter trivia question, which tonight was, who's the only athlete, and only, of course, is an exclusive word, the only athlete that's ever been drafted in the 1st round of both the Major League Baseball draft and the National Football League draft? And the answer is Kyler Murray, the standout quarterback of the Arizona Cardinals. And you know he's good when he goes into Cincinnati and beats the upstart Bengals. And yes, I'm being sarcastic. So 3rd down and about 5 as the 4th quarter begins. The Rollcats will switch ends now and work right to left or toward
Bassville.
Correct. Do it now. If we go left to right, do we need to say Lux from now on or Larry Knight Field? I'm not sure. Both the same direction anyway. 3rd down and 5. Ford wants to throw. Does. The pass is caught by Barrett and then is dropped immediately, but he did what he should do as a receiver, Brad Bounce. Got to where the 1st down stake was and then waited on that grab.
Yeah, good job. Good job by Barrett getting just enough for that 1st down.
And
Excuse me, Kelly.
it is a chain mover for Sumrall.
As you said, as a receiver on 3rd down, that's exactly what you want to do. You got to know where those chains are at, and Barrett did a great job. He didn't get much past it, but he got exactly what he needed.
And the Tornadoes have not, again, they have not blitzed John Ford at all tonight. So they're going to let him throw and just make sure that they've got the guys covered up. 1st and 10. Bobcats have it at their own 38. Ford wants to throw again, but had to throw behind Cockcroft, and he got nailed immediately after throwing that ball. He was really being pressured there by Chance Johnson, the sophomore defensive tackle. Or check that, that's Davin King, the senior defensive tackle.
And Purvis is they're really spreading their defense out and playing 2 safeties back deep. If they're gonna, and John Ford is coming off the field, Kelly. John Ford is holding that arm again.
Oh boy.
It's his non-throwing arm, but it's holding that arm limp as he's now coming off the field.
Well, you remember earlier this year, Darren Coney for Sumrall had just gotten cleared after the high ankle sprain to come back and play, and like his 3rd carry, he broke the ankle, and he's hoping to get back into play in the next 2 weeks or so. It's amazing the dedication that a lot of these guys have. But it is something too that, and you know, you deal with baseball players getting hurt arms. You know, they're constantly worried about how does it feel. It's just not right. You know, and sometimes you just have to work it out, or just to learn to deal with the mental exhaustion of not knowing exactly. So Ford is out. Ford is out of the game. And the Bobcats go back to that Wildcat formation. And just from our point of view here, Brad, it just looks like the wind has been taken out of their sails. 2nd down and 10. Cockcroft is back there. And he hands it off to Barrett. Barrett cuts it inside, but is wrapped up again and thrown for no gain. Davin King again Gavin King with the tackle, a loss on the play. And we thank you from the 601 area code. We did get word that Savannah Cooper is the Purvis kicker, so thank you for those of you that have been texting that in. 11 minutes even left to go in the ball game. Purvis 28, Sumrall 17.
Now with Ford out, and Cocroft lined up at quarterback, Purvis has changed their defense and moved a lot of men up in the box, just like Sumrall has seen over the past few weeks.
Third down and about 11. They fake the handoff. Cocroft wants to run it himself, cuts it up the middle, and does pick up about 6. But they'll still be 5 yards short on 4th down. Bobcats have the football in their own end of the field and will kick this away. Marshall Phillips will be back at about the 30, 33.
Kelly, I'm just looking down there at the sidelines. Ford has his shoulder pads off. I really don't, he's not in a sling or anything right now, but we'll try to keep an eye on him.
Phillips to Johnson, and Johnson steps out of the way and gives way to the Sumrall pursuit. The Bobcats down it at the 12-yard line. So that's where Purvis will begin. 1st and 10. I would expect them now, Brad, with 9:56 left to go in the game and an 11-point lead, that the Tornadoes would try to grind this out on the ground as much as they can. In junior college football tonight, East Mississippi loses to Holmes. Holmes has upset East Mississippi tonight in junior college play 49-42.
Is Buddy still there?
He is. Buddy Stevens is still the coach at East Mississippi, but that loss tonight now.
I bet he's mad as a hornet right now.
That loss tonight now, East Mississippi will have no chance to play for a national championship. Hand off on a sweep left side. And that North Division in the MACJC, the toughest league in America, is really wide open right now as Ty Baden was the ball carrier there, maybe gained a yard. 2nd down and 9. And again, with that play clock right in their face with 18 seconds left to go, but they hand it off anyway. Again, straight up the middle. Forging ahead for about a gain of 4. Itawamba has defeated Mississippi Delta 41-7. The Itawamba Indians winners over Delta 41-7. Pearl River plays Southwest on Saturday. That is a homecoming game at Poplarville. The game is at 2 o'clock, but a lot of the homecoming festivities starting earlier than that. And Nigel Coleman from Sumrall starting now for the Pearl River Wildcats. 3rd down and about 4 for Purvis. Dive play right up the middle, but the Bobcat defense is there and stops it. Baden again the ball carrier, but Cole Daniels on the stop along with Justice Hanbury. Boy, those two are tough on that defensive line. 4th down and about 4. The Tornadoes now will look to kick it away. Tyler Daniels back at about the 50-yard line. And Robinson kicks it, and it takes a Purvis bounce. Like a jumping bean, gets down to about the 35-yard line. And that is where Nick Lauer downs it for Purvis and Cade Dito. Cade Dito in the ball game, but as a receiver, it would appear. So let's see how Shannon White juggles the offense here, if at all. Dito was the backup quarterback to Ford early in the year, but Dito being implemented here as a receiver. So with 7:59 left to go, it is Cocroft in the backfield and J.J. Parker there to his left. 28-17. Purvis leads Sumrall. Purvis 28, Sumrall 17. Cocroft slings it out here to to Daniels, and he is hit immediately. Tried to get a block from Barrett, but there were two tornadoes in the area, and Barrett couldn't handle both Baden and Ty Harrell. So no gain on the play. 2nd down and 10. And this is a 2-score game for Sumrall, but not to overplay things and to be too melodramatic, but when John Ford came out, it just looked like the shoulders of the entire Sumrall offense just slumped a little bit. Back into the Wildcats, 2nd down and 10. Cocroft will run it himself. To the right, nothing there. Here comes the Purvis pursuit. He is able to get the edge. Nice job by Gabe Cocroft, actually, trying to read some blocks. Only got about 3 on the play. Brings up a 3rd down. A 3rd down and 8, really. As we near about 7 minutes left to go in this ball game, Purvis leading the battle of 589, 28-17.
Kelly, what shoulder did Ford hurt? Was it his throwing shoulder or non-throwing? Non-throwing, and that's the one that he's got the ice on now.
3rd down. Give and go right straight ahead, but stood up. This ball might be on the ground. It is not. J.J. Parker tried to find a hole up the middle, but he was stood up. No gain on the play. And 4th down for Sumrall. Marshall Phillips will come in to kick it away with 6:45 left to go in the game. Purvis leading this one 28-17. The only score in the 2nd half was a Purvis touchdown. Perfect snap. Johnson won't even do anything with it. He just lets Sumrall down it at the 36. And that is Liam Munn. Baseball standout. Other junior college scores on the Town and Country Cleaner scoreboard. Mississippi Gulf Coast, ranked number 1 in the country, defeated East Central tonight 25-5, which is an interesting football score. But Gulf Coast a winner 25-5. East Mississippi has been beaten.
I got an interesting football score for you. I'll tell you after this play.
Itawamba defeated Delta. All of our scores brought to you by our friends at Town and Country Cleaners on Hardy Street in Hattiesburg. Robinson under center. Hands it off to Cade Sherrill. Cade Sherrill along the far sideline works his way up the field across the 40 to about the 42. Gain of 5 on the play. Carson ducked the quack attack on the tackle for Sumrall. 2nd down and 5.
I'm sure you didn't report it last week because I wasn't with you, but my Eupora Tigers won their 2nd victory of the year. They beat Bruce 5-2.
Well, of course they did, because Bruce can't cover the whole field all by himself.
But 5-2. What a football score.
2nd down and 5. Again, handoff up the middle. This time, it is Wines who gets 1st down yardage out to about the 50. Now, if Eupora was only playing Bruce, what Bruce should have done was gotten Ethel to help him.
Exactly.
You know?
At least they would have had 2 out there.
I mean, that's what William and Mary do.
Ethel is not that far from Eupora.
Right.
Right? Is that Winston County up there somewhere in the middle part of the state?
I believe so.
5 minutes, 25 seconds left to go in this one. Purvis forging a friendship with the clock now on an 11-point lead with 5:18 left to go in the game and a fresh set of downs at the 50-yard line. Robinson hands it off straight up the middle. Purvis not doing anything fancy here. This is an offense right now that would make a Republican Congress very happy. Just hand it off up the middle. Let's do something conservative here. It's a gain of 2. Just hang on to the pigskin. Again, the starting quarterback for Sumrall, John Ford, who'd moved the team in the 1st half, is out of the game. His 1st game back after an injury. He came out holding that left shoulder again. 2nd down and 8. 4 minutes, 35 seconds left to go. Robinson surveying the Sumrall defense, and with 3 seconds left on the play clock, hands it off. They try some misdirection with lap end, but the Bobcat defense was there making a play as Gavin Friend, who has had a terrific game tonight. Hines has defeated Colin tonight. Hines 35, Colin 21. As all the scores from the Mac Jack, the toughest league in America, beginning to roll in here. Keep up to date with all the junior college scores, news, schedules, and highlights at JUCOweekly.org. It is 3rd down and 9. And the Tornadoes call a timeout. I'm surprised by that, Brad, that they called a timeout with 3:44 left to go in the game.
Well, I think they were trying a hard count there to get Sumrall to jump, and they didn't. And I think then Robinson looked over at Coach Hankins, and Coach Hankins just went in and took the timeout. You know, Kelly, given those junior college scores, and of course you're familiar with junior college, your association with Pearl River and everything, and you mentioned Buddy Stevens. Of course, Buddy Stevens coming to some notoriety from Last Chance U. Very interesting watching those 2 seasons, and I'm thinking they can't find another coach that can rival Buddy as far as his antics and some of his language and stuff. Did you see the next guy they put on there?
He was worse.
He was awful.
Yeah.
Anyway, it is a good show. It is a good show, but just, you know, don't watch it with your kids. Let's put it that way.
And I'll tell you, when you look at a lot of NFL rosters and see how many guys have come from the MAC Jack.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's some terrific football players.
Yeah, it's the best kept secret in the country as far as football goes. It really is.
It's dubbed the toughest league in America for a reason. 3rd down and 9, the pitch sweep to Ty Baden. Baden looking for some blockers. Won't get the yardage he needed, picked up about 5. They'll be about 4 yards short. But I wouldn't be surprised if they try to go for it here and burn yet some more clock, Brad Bounds.
Yeah, at the very least. I mean, of course, Robinson is their punter. So, you know, they could run this thing down and then have him do a little pooch kick. Looks like they are going to bring the punt team out. But Robinson, even when he's been taking the snaps from center, he's let that play clock go all the way down to 1 on every play.
And that's something that you have to be taught as
Right.
well. Hunter Robinson, who's just a junior, so he'll be back again next year. Now back there in punt form. They fake the punt. Robinson wants to run it and gets the 1st down. Holy cow. Cole Daniels runs him down at the 25-yard line. Was that by design, Brad, or did he just see it there?
No, I believe he took off way too quick. I think that was by design. Great call by Coach Hankins and his staff, because nobody expected that. They expected him to punt the football with an 11-point lead. But I think what Coach Hankins is saying is that, look, we're just going to hang on to this thing and, you know, try to run this clock out and not give Sumrall a chance to even put any more points on the board.
But if I know Coach Hankins like I know him, I don't think they'll try to put any more points on the board either.
No, I don't think so either. If it happens, it happens, but I don't think that was any intention here.
Robinson is stacked up at the line of scrimmage. He just could not get a clean handoff to Ty Baden, and they both go down. A loss of 2 on the play. But in this athletic contest, this is all about academic now. As we near 2 minutes left to go in the game, and Purvis leading Sumrall 28-17. Robinson is a real gamer. His dad, Craig Robinson, you know, for years coached Dixie Youth Baseball down across from Hattiesburg High School at old J.C. Park. Did you play Dixie Youth down there?
I did. That's my little stomping grounds down there.
Who did you play with 11 and 12-year-olds? Who was your sponsor? You remember?
I played for Southeastern Concrete.
Tom Wilbright?
I did.
Wow. 2nd down and 12. Cade Sherrill on the sweep to the near side of the field is pushed out of bounds after a gain of about 4. That stops the clock with 1:29 left to go in the game. They've got to get to about the 18, but I mean, at this point, what does it matter for the 1st down? 28-17. Purvis is about to win its 5th game in a row. This was a Purvis team that many said wouldn't win a game this year.
I'll tell you what, and Kelly, they look good. They really do. Brad Hankins has done a great job, and his staff over there. And kudos to those kids. A lot of kids will just hang it up at 0-3. These kids have kept fighting.
Third down, handoff, first carry of the night for Caleb Shelby. Short of the first down as he goes over left tackle, about 3 yards short of the first down. And Sumrall has called a timeout with 1:17 left to go in this contest, and Purvis leading 28-17. You can follow Sumrall Athletics on all the social media platforms, including Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Sumrall Athletics. Sumrall Athletics. So if you have a tablet or a smart TV, I guess Christy Martin has moved up in the world, has gotten rid of the tablet, and is now has like some big TV down in Louisiana that she's watching the game on today. Never let it be said, Brad Bounds, that you are not a television star.
That's right.
Particularly in Folsom, Louisiana. Or, of course, we're always available on the radio, which I love. A good old-fashioned radio. Used to grow up listening to the Kansas City Royals. I'd lay in bed just listening to the Royal ball games on the radio. Play-by-play by Fred White and Denny Matthews. And the Houston Astros have defeated the Tampa Bay Rays. So the furniture guy up north had put the $2 million bet or whatever on the Astros to win the World Series is still alive.
How about if you're an Atlanta Braves fan, you get all hyped up for a Game 5, and you're there and you're ready for it, and the Cardinals come out and put 13 on you in the first.
And you tune in the TV 5 minutes late. Boy, what a disappointment. Fourth down and about 5. The Tornadoes go for it here. Robinson rolls to his left. It's a quarterback run. Dives toward the stake along that far sideline at about the 15. And if he got the first down on fourth, they would no doubt just take victory formation and snap the ball maybe twice. So we'll see where they spot it.
Who won that game last night?
The Nats put the Dodgers out.
So they were losing whenever I turned it off.
They were down 3-0. The Nats, the Dodgers bring in Kershaw out of the bullpen, and he promptly gives up back-to-back jacks.
You know, it's always when I turn the channel.
Or go to bed.
Go to bed, yeah.
Right. It is a Purvis first down with 1:10 left to go in the ball game. So you would, with Purvis leading 28-17, you would expect the Tornadoes to take the victory formation. The Tornadoes will win the Battle of 589. And they will go to 2-0 in District 7 4A play, and the Bobcats drop to 0-2. There are 6 teams in the division, 4 of which will go to the playoffs. Greene County, Forest County, Stone County, Poplarville, Purvis, and Sumrall. Those are the 6 teams in the division. And again, 4 of those 6 will go to the playoffs as Robinson takes a knee. The top 2 seeds will host first-round games in the playoffs, and seeds 3 and 4, which Sumrall was in that group last year, will take to the road the first week when Sumrall went to South Pike last year and really played hard in a game that they very well could have won. But the Eagles emerged victorious in that game. 44 seconds left on the clock. Purvis leads this game and will win it 28-17. Second down for the record. And again, the Tornadoes in victory formation. He takes a knee. And Robinson headed over to the sideline, the Purvis sideline, and the Purvis fans are joyous tonight as the Tornadoes shut out the Bobcats in the second half and win this game by a final score of 28-17. The Bobcats back at home next week against the Forest County Aggies, a very special week, homecoming on campus here at Sumrall. And we hope that you will join us then. The only game in town tonight in South Mississippi was right here at Lions Field. And in District 7 4A play, it's the Purvis Tornadoes 28, the Sumrall Bobcats 17. John Ford went out of the game, we mentioned, in the third quarter. Don't know what his status is for tonight or at any time going forward, but you can follow us at Sumrall Athletics or my Twitter account at Kelly Sander. Brad Bounds, final thoughts?
Well, Kelly, it's unfortunate, with Ford coming back and had a good first half for him to go out in the second half as he did, and as you said, that you could just see the wind go out of the sails of this Sumrall team. But we'll see how that injury plays out. Regardless, I mean, they've got some football left to play, and hope this Sumrall team can regroup, come back next week, and get that victory against Forest County.
Thanks to all of our sponsors, including Sumrall Lawn Care, Davis Smith State Farm Insurance, Town and Country Cleaners, Hattiesburg Clinic Children's Clinic, Priority One Bank, and Dandy Dan's of Bellevue and Sumrall. Again, the final score, Purvis 28, Sumrall 17. The Tornadoes are the champions of the Battle of 589. For producer Jeremy Thompson and color analyst, the round bound of sound, Brad Bounds, I'm Kelly Sander. Thanks for joining us. You've been watching and listening to the home of Sumrall Bobcat football.